And what's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. So we are here to give you guys a discussion on one of the biggest, if not the biggest movie this year in Black Panther. Got a couple great YouTubers, bloggers, and just movie connoisseurs here. What's going on, guys?
Yo, what's up?
How's it going?
Hello.
Good. What's going on, Anthony?
Not much. Chilling.
I'm gonna let you guys shout out your channels real quick, and then we can go ahead and get started.
Dope. Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Chris Johnson, aka New Sense 88, 1/12 of the Normies crew, and 1/2 of the Knot Brothers crew. If you're interested about what any of those things mean, hit me up. Check out the lens flares. I got JJ Abrams out here doing it.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right.
Nope.
The lens flares, though, that was hilarious. Yeah, what's going on, Chris?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'll just let anybody know they could go ahead and plug their channels or podcasts.
I'm 1/3 of the Three Black Geeks. We have a YouTube channel. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, any podcast app. You can go to our website, www.threeblackgeeks.com. Got Instagram. We're on Twitter. I'm mainly on the main one, at Three Black Geeks. And D is on at D the Black Geeks. D the Black Geek, I should say. And our boy DJ Sue, he's on at Black Nerd Japan. So you can reach us on there. Weekly show. We got other little side shows that we do as part of that too as well, that we put out like twice a month and stuff. So yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of material.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming out, man. Whether you guys know it or not, definitely check out his last podcast. I was actually joined his spoiler discussion on Black Panther. It was pretty dope.
And we just put out movie reviews for Annihilation and Game Night. So
dang, I missed that movie. I was so upset.
I'm kind of interested to see it because it looks like it's based off of the Cthulhu mythos, the color from space. So I'm kind of interested to see what the movie's like. Anyway, yeah. I'm Drunk Geek from Earth 2 Comic Cast. I'm a contributor over there. That's about it. Nothing else. I'm just gonna sit here. I don't know the math of what third I'm or what 12th I am of anything.
He just exists. He's a man. He's a Ronin who pops in on different podcasts and stuff. And so, you know.
Oh my gosh. And last but not least, Keaton, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? It's your boy Keaton. You can find me on Twitter at Keaton7. That's KEEDEN number 7. I work with JVS with SEL0320 and having fun.
Will you be going to Comic-Con?
I want to. We'll see. I'm finishing up a master's right now, so I'm going to be working on it, but no promises yet. I am coming up to DC at the end of March, though.
Oh, for the Awesome Con?
Yeah,
Awesome
Con. So that's going to be good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just asked. I know a lot of people from JVS is supposedly is coming to San Diego, so yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm trying to. I definitely want to.
Yeah, definitely. Keaton, he's going to be making one of his first appearances at a con. Awesome Con, actually doing interviews. So yeah, that's going to be really exciting. So let's go ahead and dive into it, boys. Black Panther. All of us were hyped for it. We had a lot of questions going into it, but general consensus that I've been understanding is that it was really good. You had a really good time with your experience, that it brought something to the superhero genre as a whole. But as far as your expectations, how were they met, or were they tempered, or was it just like, okay, it was just good enough? I'm just really curious moving off the gate.
Oh, expectations were, at least for me, I know my expectations were met. I knew, given the director and given the writers and such, I knew it was going to be pretty special. You know, how special, I didn't really know until like I saw the trailers, and like I said, you don't want to get too hyped because, you know, trailers and things like that. But then when you watch the movie and stuff, it really did feel, and like I said, it's kind of like how it is where you don't, when you haven't gotten something this good. I mean, everybody says, well, we've had that. And I mean, the last time we got something good was Blade 1 and Blade 2. That was like the last thing. And that was like over 10 years ago. So when you don't get something like that on a regular, there's going to be that expectation of like, I hope it's good. And like I said, Marvel movies have always been, for the most part, good. Regardless, even of the weakest ones, you're still coming out like, it was all right, you know, whatever. So after seeing it, I was like, okay, this was actually really good. Let me see it a second time just to be sure. Then I saw it the second time. I was like, okay, this was actually really good. And then I saw it the third time with some other people and stuff. So just overall, it did meet my expectations. I would probably say it kind of smidged over, went past my expectations just a little bit and stuff, just because I didn't expect certain things that they did and stuff. So,
nah, that's dope.
Oh yeah, my expectations were really surpassed, man. I wasn't really coming in for it looking that it was going to be a really good story. I knew it was going to be directed well. I like Coogler's style, so I was kind of down for that. I knew the music was going to be good. I've been banging the soundtrack all day, and then just like the story really hit me on like a heart level. I was like, damn, this is much better than I thought it was going to be. It really rode out. Like, it stuck with me. I mean, I enjoyed it, man. You know, like if I was a little youngster watching it for the first time, my mind would be all the way blown. I'd be Black Panther for the next 10 Halloweens. But since I'm adult, it's going to be Black Panther for like the next 3 Halloweens.
Yeah, nah, it's for real. Anthony or Keaton?
Oh, after you, good sir.
I go into everything these days with extremely low expectations because that way I'm never really let down. So Black Panther blew the absolute roof off for me. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I'm still putting together my thoughts for why I loved it so much. Because I'm not gonna lie, like part of me has this like warm, fuzzy feeling after seeing it, and I can't tell if it's because it was that good or if it was like this feeling like, yo, we made it, we in here. Like I can't quite tell like which one it is, but that movie just made me feel great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But yeah, my expectations going into it were low. Like I've had low expectations for any comic book movie since The Last Stand. And so I've always like go into it really low and hoping for the best. And I got way beyond what I expected it to be.
Back.
All right.
Anthony?
All right, so I'm just glad that my anxiety can lower because I was so afraid I was going to have to spend the next year defending this movie if it was bad, because I was going to still defend it. It's like, I had a list of people I was going to blame. Like Trump was on that list, the conspiracy. like I was ready. So they just gave it to us so they could say we couldn't do it, and they messed it up. No, see, man. So I'm glad that I can say this. It's a really good movie. It's a good movie. Is it the best Marvel movie? No. But they took what DC had in terms of the most culturally significant comic book movie. Like they bullied DC out of it. So it met my expectations, and even went further that it had some issues and subtext in here that I'm very surprised Disney actually let them touch upon. Like this is. Disney's really good about mining whatever's happening right now and emotions, and I guess what they dug into, so that exceeded what I expected Disney to let them do and touch on those subjects.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to actually bring up is I've been actually doing research on this whole perspective on this as being the first Black superhero. And as far as like a motion picture, and we know that we've had Blank Man, we know we've had Meteor Man, but the reality is that this is one of the fine opportunities where they had like a Black director, Black writer, co-writers, and an all-Black cast. And the research that I found is that Meteor Man and Harlem Nights were the only two that came close to something as fully surrounded like this. Meteor Man actually came the closest because their whole kind of cast was African American. It was written by some African Americans, directed by some African Americans. But this one was one that defined what this could really look like and what it could really be. And I think that culturally, like it means so much more to people because of all that. But if I had to pick one and being the first, like Marvel superhero, black superhero, be definitely Blade. But in terms of what this actually did, it reached so much bigger demographic of people because of how it was actually constructed.
But I hear.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I hear, like, I've listened to a lot of like conservative reviews on it and talking about. I don't understand why people are so excited. It's not the first black superhero, but it's look at Blade, right? We all love Blade for what it was, but it's the same thing as when you get a Will Smith movie or a Denzel Washington movie where it's them, but then they're surrounded by a non-black cast. They're surrounded by they have non-black love interest because we've been fed the line, at least most of my life, that black people can't sell a movie. Like you can't have an all-black cast and sell that movie. And I was bringing up recently that I think it was in China, like they took Finn off a Force Awakens trailer, or like lessened them on the Force Awakens poster in China because apparently black actors don't sell or diminish a movie. So that's a lie we've been fed.
Yeah.
Even in movies like it's not just black people. Even in movies like The Last Airbender, where they race bended everybody, because they
had the right idea. I see what the idea they were going with in Avatar, but at the same time, it's like you didn't really have to do that, So it's like,
well, we have Asian American actors that could have been in those roles.
Oh yeah,
that they just took, but for some reason we keep getting sold the line that if you don't look this way, if you don't represent this idea of cool and beautiful or whatever or heroic, you can't sell a movie, and so that's why we're excited.
Yeah,
I mean, well, that's why I'm excited. I can't tell
everybody. No, yeah,
this is the thing that part of me wonders though. What I wonder is that did this happen the exact way they thought it would? Like, yo, you know what? We about to make a lot of money right now. Get this. We're gonna get all black people in this, and they're gonna love it, and this gonna make a ton of money. Like, I know that it's like going through all of these barriers, but I still feel like it was probably planned somewhere in a back room. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like this miracle baby that we weren't expecting. Like, it was still planned, and it was announced, and it ended up being really good.
That mouse calculated all this.
They knew. They released the first trailer during the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I mean,
they were on it.
I mean, I said the best though in the fact that when they had so I was saying going into Phase 4 and beyond, I was like, at some point they're gonna have to start digging into a lot of their minority characters. You have to, because because the thing of it is, your whole basis of it is you want to bring up some of these characters because hey, you can't run the wheels out on Tony Stark and Captain America and Thor forever. You can't.
They didn't have to. They didn't. Let's be honest. They didn't have to. They could have brought up like the New Warriors, a bunch of different other characters could have brought up. Like Black Panther isn't the most rich comic book character as far as lore goes. I mean, if we're honest with these,
Priest kind of brought him up to prominence, honestly.
So Anthony said something that had me thinking, because I'd been watching a lot of those like conservative talk pieces too, and I was kind of wondering if I should be feeling as excited about it as I did. But then like I just got to think about it as like from a role model standpoint. Like you got a main hero who's a king, and then like his main villain is somebody who's essentially akin to him. And it's like, when you think about black folks compared to like Africans, like how we lost our culture and they've got theirs still, and it runs deep. And like, there's a link there with that. And then also it's a black superhero who's a part of the MCU. And like, yeah, Blade is a part of Marvel, but he wasn't a part of the MCU. It's been 15 freaking movies they've been building this up for. And here towards the end, they're going to drop the black character to essentially be the last lead tie-in movie before Ant-Man and Wasp, and then it's Infinity War. Like, that's a big deal, And people are like hype about it, man. So, I mean, we got the right to be excited.
You know what?
And on that note, it's getting ready to start to snow out here. So I have to go back inside, boys.
Where are you?
Indiana.
Okay. Well,
it's 80 degrees in North Carolina right now.
Well, I hate all y'all. I'm gonna listen to the talk from inside though. I'll say some stuff in the chat. I gotta go.
All
right, bro.
Peace. Thanks for having me.
For sure, bro.
They're really going to lose their minds if they get really true to the comic books, because in the comics, Black Panther consistently trolls Tony Stark like it's his hobby. So can you imagine how that would play on these conservative like reviews and things like that? If I mean, like in the comics, Black Panther bought Tony's company, like fired him from the Avengers, like.
Well, I mean, it's actually theorized that Avengers Tower, that the person that bought it was T'Challa. Because remember when Spider-Man was going out, like Happy was like, well, there's a new tenant here. And he was like, who would buy this? And so now it kind of like maybe T'Challa legit bought it. So we really don't know.
I hope it's Mr. Fantastic. But yeah, that makes sense because he said he wanted to work one in New York.
That would be perfect. But I guess moving forward, though, in terms of the movie, I think Chris brought up a really good point that a lot of times we get like our hero or the main protagonist being somebody that's like in a downward spiral, or they've been down and out, or they're lacking of something. Specifically if they're African American, there's something they're lacking in, and T'Challa's not that. He's not lacking in anything. He's very much so a great ruler. He's a great king, and he's at the same time a good man. He's just very much so conflicted. And I think that at the point that he realized what happened to Killmonger and how he was wronged, it drew this inner turmoil within him, which makes his character blossom so much better. And so the reason why I bring that up, I was curious, who is your favorite character in the confines of the Black Panther movie for you, and why?
Eric Killmonger. Eric Killmonger was definitely my favorite character by far. And the reason is, and I've said this in other discussions that we've had. If you stick the villain, you stick the movie. I've always said that. And a good villain is one where you can kind of see his side of things. Like Killmonger, when they did this movie, it was interesting because it made me think about a lot of things. Like when I looked at Black Panther and Killmonger's relationship, it kind of made me think of Professor X and Magneto. Kind of made me think of Professor X and Magneto, who were based off of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And they had like these differing views, but at the same time, they understood each other. And so, like, I really love Kim because you felt for him, because he was purely a product of the world that we actually live in every single day. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and front with you. There have been days where I turn on the news and I see what's happening every day, and I have the same thoughts that Killmonger did. I've had those same thoughts. I wouldn't go through with it, but I've had those thoughts before. And so it's always really powerful whenever I can watch a movie.
I need you to repeat that again. You would not go through with it.
I would advocate. I would not start a war if I had the means to do it. I would not go out and start a war. But like, I really just felt for him. Like like from the get-go, because like, and this is just me on a personal level. Like, for example, I lost my father when I was very young. And so it was one of those things, like, I instantly like related to him throughout the movie. And I just like, my heart felt for him. My heart felt for him, like that anger and that rage that he had. It was really, really good. I thought it was extremely well done. And I thought that he really was one of the stick out roles in the movie. Like, everybody played their part well, but when it comes to these comic book movies, it's like if you stick the villain, you stick the landing. And I just thought he killed it.
So I'm agree with that. I said the exact same thing on with Mo and on Earth 2 Comic Cast a couple of days ago, that he is Black Panther's Magneto, where he's not wrong. You might disagree with his execution of how he deals with his trauma, but you understand his trauma. You understand that humans would commit genocide, and why wouldn't they commit genocide against us? And I'm not going to stand for it anymore. So you understand it, and like you said, the best villains are the ones you can empathize with. Like, the reason why I gravitated towards Marvel as a as a kid was because I related to their heroes and their villains more because they weren't just white hats and black hats. There was that gray of, yeah, I get it. You know, you feel like you've been wronged and you've been hurt, and this is what you don't want to be hurt again. And that's what it breaks down a lot to. And I also enjoy it because this is one of the first superhero movies where I did not groan at the fact that the main bad guy was going to turn into uh, the hero in the same suit with the same powers as the hero, because he actually was a good foil. Where him and Black Panther were like, hey, for if circumstances were different, I could have been him. And I like that contrast, and I like the pain is when he saw it, and you could tell that even he was conflicted with it because we wronged him, like we wronged him, father, and to see how there's so many different layers to this character in this movie about how you could say that we've all been abandoned in America and been taught the lie of we're lucky our parents got our ancestors became slaves, so we grew up in America and not, you know what I mean? Like things were fed, and that loss of connection, that even if you go back, you know, even if you're blood, you don't have that same, not, I won't say spiritual, but just understanding of a culture that you lost, and the bitterness of that feels, and the bitterness of feeling alienated in anywhere you go. And I think that, I don't know, it just spoke to me how I related, and how, again, when you let that pain and that trauma and that hate for something that you might be justified in having, ultimately it corrupts you. It does it in real life. If you know somebody that has bitterness and hate and it stays in them, and they finally get everything they want, they can't hold on to it because they don't know how to live without it. This becomes such a part of them. And it's a tragic figure. It's a tragic figure that he got exactly what he wanted, but his pain corrupted him so much that it deformed him. And I know I'm ranting. I'm gonna say one last thing. I've been talking to a lot of different people from different ethnicities, and there were certain things he said that is like I don't understand that part, or didn't really get with me. Filipino cousin of mine was talking about, like, I don't understand what he was saying. Like when he was talking to his father, that scene wasn't really powerful, and I was like, well, I think that if you don't grow up in an area where not this what was me thing, but like where I grew up, where death was a regular part of life, where poverty was a regular part of life, and you process death a lot differently, then it's kind of the same thing if you're in a war zone or a combat zone. Like you start processing death, fear, hyper alertness. It becomes a lot different in how you process things around you, and even medically, you can see how the brain deforms when it goes in that kind of trauma. So that his line about is like no tears for me, especially after we just saw T'Challa have those tears for his father. You just died where everybody dies. Like that's it's so powerful.
It is. And the thing is, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Anthony. This felt like the first Marvel movie that wasn't made to sell toys.
Right?
Like
now, well, I mean that part. It didn't feel like that.
The suit maybe, but the story overarching, definitely not.
Yeah, it didn't like it just. I'm sorry. I'll let everybody else finish. My piece.
That's interesting. That's an interesting turn of thought, but I'll shut up too.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
I mean, like I remember. Okay, so I saw somebody do a review of the movie, and they brought a good point. They said it reminded them of the first Christopher Reeve Superman, in a sense of like, you had a story that was all focused on like the origin of the character in that world that Superman inhabits and stuff. And like you said, it wasn't meant to sell toys. Like off the break. I mean, let me back up. They said it reminded me of Superman the movie just off the basis of what the story was focusing on. It wasn't, like you said, it wasn't focused on selling toys and things like that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but like some of these movies and stuff like that do kind of have that, like, oh, hey guys, look at this new toy. You know,
look at that Happy Meal Killmonger.
Oh
toy.
man, it's
Watch
awesome.
him
you know,
kill his girlfriend.
yeah, you don't see that. So it's like, it kind of reminded me of like the first Iron Man movie. You watch that movie, nothing about that movie was like, oh, we're selling toys. It was like, oh, this is like actual Tony Stark's personal journey, and we've seen all his new suits and how he kind of overcame it. So in this movie, it was like very focused on T'Challa's journey and stuff. We saw the journey start in Civil War. And then we're picking up on it, and we're really kind of getting inhabited into this world because like I said, they managed to make Wakanda like, okay, I'm really interested in this this world of Wakanda now, like pun on words there. But I'm really interested in Wakanda now and stuff. And like I said, this is one of those situations where you really probably could spin off a movie on Wakanda itself if you wanted to. If you wanted to.
Wakanda is my favorite character, actually. If I had to go pick a character,
yeah,
Wakanda itself is probably.
So like,
and you're not lying. You're not lying about that.
And I mean, you can literally do a movie surrounding like, oh, let's talk about the Dora Milaje and their everyday things that they go through. You could literally structure like a small movie behind that if you wanted to. You know, you can structure it on Nakia and her little thing that she's going to. You know, you can structure it on Shuri and all that. So you can actually structure that world. I mean, Wakanda is a world in and of itself.
Absolutely.
We got 3 more tribes we don't know nothing about. I want to see those tribes.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a new, and we saw a brand new thing. I talked to a friend the other day, and he said, "Keaton, can I be real with you for a minute?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Between charity infomercials, Hotel Rwanda, and Blood Diamond, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Africa just sucked, but but like we saw, you got to see like a very different part and a very different piece of culture with this movie. And I was shocked by how in-depth they went with it. Like I heard they were gonna go in depth and oh man, this movie gonna be like, it's gonna be real, it's gonna be legit. But I was even shocked by how much they went into the culture of Africa. Like I was shocked that like they jumped those hoops. Like I didn't think they were going to do that, and they did.
Apparently, designers, every tribe that was represented at that fall was based on another tribe, like another tribe in Africa or region, dressed in their clothing. From like his mom was dressed in a Zulu type of garb, and like it was just great. And there was more world. I've said this. There's more world building here than like all the new Star Wars movies to me. Like I'm more interested in the different regions of this little country than I am in the salt ice planet or whatever. Like I don't know.
Just to inject a little comedy in this, a couple hours earlier, no bullshit, a couple of black porn stars were like, we're not doing a porn parody of this movie. Dead serious. I was like, oh shit. Like, wow. Like, I'm thinking it was a joke. It was like, no, dead serious. We're not fucking doing a porn parody of this. Nope.
The first black porn stars.
I was like, wow. Even the porn stars are like, no, we're not parodying this movie whatsoever.
I don't think that's ever happened. That's a record in itself. I'm pretty sure there's a porn version of Passion of the
They got porn versions of Wonder Woman and the Avengers and Batman, and it's like apparently Wakanda. Black Panther was like, nope, not doing it.
Yo, man, they're gonna be the first person that crosses that line, they're gonna be hated forever.
Porn industry looking down at you, the black porn stars, like, really, you did it? Wow, okay. Don't tell you, man.
You speak again, we feed you to our children.
That's actually an interesting segue because there's 2 different things I want to get into, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. One of them's gonna be really sensitive. First one, we'll talk about Wakanda, and the first time we actually get to see it going through the trees and kind of like. T'Challa's like, this part never gets old, and then you get to see the whole scope. I'm not sure how many of you guys saw it in IMAX, but it filled up the whole entire screen. And then when you finally get to the ground level and you start to see how they're dressed, you get to see the beads, you get to see, just how they are, and it's like they are longing for nothing. They can be whoever they want to be there. And it's like, as an African American, like we dream of something like that. So the other side of that I want to bring up is this is one of the first movies that I think, Coming to America tried to dabble in it, but thinking about African race of people and African American race of people and what is that in between look like, in that, like for Killmonger, he like, man, you wronged my dad. But what's even worse is the fact that, yeah, my dad died, but I've had to watch and suffer through a whole nother race of people that you don't even consider as your own. And it's like, as Wakandans, they're like, well, we have to protect us. We have to make sure people don't exploit us or exploit the things that we have, because we can really put the world in jeopardy by the material that we have even in our mountains. So it's understandable from that point. But then you got like all these different other, minority African Americans that are out there just suffering. And Killmonger's like, look, this is the situation here. And y'all are just sitting here pretty. And I don't think I've ever seen a movie kind of go that way. That's one of the most intriguing parts about Killmonger.
Yeah, absolutely not. You've never seen like an American from Oakland go to Africa and tell them they're not woke. Like that's brand new. Like that had definitely been something that was never done.
And the tension between Black Americans and people from Pan Africa.
Oh, that's a never-ending fight right there, man.
Has never been depicted on screen as far as I can remember, in mainstream movie or anything like that. Like I can't remember anything like that, and have them put it in a Disney movie. This is blowing my mind. And having that divide and having that. So I'm of the perspective that Wakanda wasn't wrong. They weren't wrong to isolate themselves. I mean, if you're looking around the world and you're seeing atom bombs go off as soon as we rediscover it, if you're seeing like what 20 years after the first, what is it, like maybe 30 years after the first flight of the Wright brothers, we're dropping bombs on people. And you see all these wars break out and slavery and things like that. You're one country. You're gonna it would be irresponsible not to isolate yourself and try to protect your people. There was a saying in World War II, like every German tank was worth at least 4 American tanks. The problem was Americans always had 5 tanks. So even if you're a really advanced culture, you can get overwhelmed. The Zerg can get you. And yeah, how do you see all these dangers, and you know how all these other modern countries go over oil and diamonds and the stuff we put in our cell phone technologies now, and you think they're not going to come for your stuff? You think we wouldn't have troops landing in Wakanda, making up some kind of war excuse? But I get that. That's them being like, we got to protect ourselves. But from the outside looking in, it's like, hey, we don't even know that we come from the most advanced people on the planet. Like you just abandon us. You didn't even send a rescue ship, as one of the comedians say. So I don't know. I like that both sides can be right and both sides can be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it was kind of interesting how they really did push that whole angle and stuff. Because like I say, you up to a certain point with Killmonger, you understood his justifiable anger, because it's like, well, hey, what if you guys interfered before the slaves got put on those ships to America? You guys could have helped out with that, and you could have did all these things and stuff. And like I said, he had a point up until he let his anger kind of basically put him in the category of being like white people, where it's like, oh, so you're being like colonizers and just trying to put us on the top of the food chain. You can't do that, man. That's not good.
But it's not even just a white people thing. I think one of the great things that the movie showed was anybody with power are capable of making mistakes. Any empire with power can make mistakes. White people didn't invent slavery. White people didn't invent colonization. I mean, the Ottoman Empire, look. I mean, and also what it shows is cultural trauma, and how cultural trauma can affect how people view things. How we are affected after 9/11. Yeah. How the Chinese were affected when Britain invaded them and forced them to buy opium, and now every time there's some unreasonable thing with China, they refer to 100 years of shame, and that's the reason why sometimes there's hard lines for them, because they've been culturally traumatized by an event. Yeah. And seeing that versus a people that have been traumatized and all they've been doing is celebrate enduring trauma versus people who have been untouched was a great contrast. Like, this movie is so deep on like so many levels.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, it touches on, it's true to form as a great origin superhero film, but kind of like Get Out, it's got so many layers that if you're not paying attention, it would just kind of gloss over you. But it's like, take like Sterling K. Brown. I didn't even know the man was going to be in the movie. Nobody. And the very first thing you see is him, and what I'm saying, Forrest Whitaker's son. And it's crazy because, like, at first you don't understand like why he's so angry, but then the flashback comes up right before he dies, and he's like, "Look, I've seen these folks get oppressed. I've seen them lose their lives. I've seen their leaders get assassinated. I've seen, stuff put into the streets to keep them oppressed. We should do something about this." Now, his way of going about it is wrong, but it was like everything he stated was so raw, and I can't believe that a Disney movie / Marvel movie would ever do that. Like, it's kind of like I don't know who raised the point. I think it was you, Anthony, the fact that they made a movie like this, and it's like, okay, we're gonna create this blueprint, but we're gonna let them and see how far they can push this without going too far. And it's like Ryan did an amazing job, bro. He did an amazing job writing this and directing this. But I guess going to Wakanda. So for you guys, what did you guys feel about Wakanda, and what was the most intriguing part about it for you?
I feel like I'm talking a lot, but from my perspective, I enjoyed seeing the different tribes and the different garbs. Even the gentleman, I don't know much about the culture. Even the gentleman that was in the three-piece kind of suit, but still had the plate in his lip and ears and stuff. I like how they had these distinct cultures, but they all agreed to go under this system. And that part of the reason their leadership things, I mean, like, again, I've been listening to a lot of different reviewers on things, and they were talking about they didn't like how this advanced technology civilization, this advanced civilization was still so much something so ritual and primitive as a fight for leadership. My opinion on that is that it meant more to me that he wasn't just handed anything. He wasn't given the throne. That this culture still recognizes that you need to work and earn for it, and anybody has a shot at that title. That for some reason that was almost equality to me, in a way that we choose not to challenge the crown this generation. We choose to let you be our leader without any kind of conflict. And they all had a vote on it, because any other place, I kept thinking, would just be like, no, we're the royalty, we're the people with the superpowers, we're kings. And I don't know, I just love that about the people. So just the people in general and the different lifestyles that we got a peek at really spoke to me.
I mean,
I guess.
I
was like,
hey, I tried to even shut my rant short. I tried to cut my rant short.
nah. I guess I'll talk about it. I completely agree with you about that, because when I saw all the different tribes and I saw the way that they were dressed, I was like, this is so dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime I think about like Africa, I think to like National Geographic, or I think back to a worse time, you know, when things were happening. I never look at it like, man, this is a rich culture. Man, this is something that is very beautiful in the midst of something so crazy around. We can't even go outside and see the stars because so many light. So it was very enthralling. And I guess that's another big segue is the characters. There's not one character in this movie, to me, that didn't have an opportunity to really shine. As much as we talked about Killmonger being one of the best villains and characters, all of them had time to shine. Like, take, you know what I'm saying, M'Baku. Like, the dude was hilarious. I loved his character. I want to see the man back. I'm glad he's going to be Infinity War. And it's like, you never would have guessed that he'd be a standout.
They really, across the board, they really gave everybody importance a bit, and just kind of basically what they ended up doing was, like, I guess we could start with M'Baku. As much as like I like the visual aesthetics of him in the monkey out in the, you know, the gorilla outfit and stuff, I have to actually think, okay, as much as, you know, he had the charisma and stuff, and I think personally he probably could have pulled it off, I like that they kind of toned it down. They gave you that little Easter egg with him with the mask on and stuff, which I thought was cool. But I like that they gave him a little bit more depth to him than what he is in the comics and stuff. It's not to say in the comics he's one-dimensional, because he does have some depth, but it ain't like really anything that's crazy deep. But in this movie, they really gave him a lot of depth to where it's like, you know, at one point when T'Challa has him in that hold and tells him, hey, your people need you and stuff, and he just says, all right, fine, and he taps out and stuff. And then like he's gloating in front of him and stuff. So it's like, I like how they kind of turn him into kind of like he's an ally for Wakanda now and stuff. I mean, sure, he plays a huge role into this movie, big time and stuff, in terms of what she brings to the table. You know, the Kia and her ideals and stuff, which, again, her ideals are just as on the same much as Killmonger's, except hers is way better executed in terms of what she's trying to do. Even T'Challa's mom, you know, she plays a little role and stuff, and you see how she is and how she's feeling about everything that's happening and stuff, you know, the betrayals and stuff. Oh, my husband actually killed this person, and just kind of absorbing all that. And just even down to Wakabi, who, you know, you kind of sort of feel for him all the way up until like he decides, oh, I guess I'm going to be Team Killmonger today. And, you know, so everybody had their roles.
He betrayed his friend
part.
after a day. His friend was king for a day, and he was like, "You ain't shit." And then
hey, look, man, he was promised justice. He didn't get it. And the dude comes out of nowhere and kills him. So I get it. But at the same time, it's like, hey, dog, like as soon as you saw T'Challa alive, you could have made that decision to say, okay, you know what? Hey, Eric, you might want to fight him and stuff. But, you know, that was his decision to make. That, you know, now he probably ain't part of the Border Tribe anymore. Possibly, I don't know. You know, we'll see Infinity War if he's back. But like I said, every character had a purpose and stuff. Everybody and stuff. I mean, even Martin Freeman's character, who's a white dude, he had a purpose to an extent. You know, actually, in fact, Martin Freeman basically played the token person, because, you know, in most movies where it's like all white cast, there's always that token black person that kind of moves along the plot. He basically was the token white person that moved along the plot. So it's like, hey, turnabout's fair play. He's actually in our position that we always see in every movie where it's like one black person there. So I was actually fine with that.
He was also the point of view character for like every movie that goes into a new world needs a point of view, like whether it's a rogue in X-Men or a Harry Potter. They need somebody to come into a world that has existed and explain to and people have to explain to him what's going on, so explains it to us without it being boring exposition. Yeah. I think they could have done that a little better with him, but that's the role I saw him as, is that he was the point of view for us going into this world we know nothing about.
Yeah, absolutely. Because every time they put like a black dude in a movie like that, he's just running around yelling, "Oh hell no! What? What are we doing right now? I ain't eating that." And so they put him in there, and he fell right into that role because he was like lost. They had him doing this to get the ships off him and all that. And he's just like, okay, I'm with y'all. Okay, like I thought he did a great job for the role that he was in. I did.
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess one character y'all didn't talk about, and I guess I don't know if it speaks merits to what y'all thought about his performance, but Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis says, Claw, what did y'all think about him? I mean, spoiler alert, he died. But I mean, it was all because of what Eric had planned and had been planning for, I don't know, forever. So what did y'all think about Andy Serkis in this?
I thought he did great. I mean, the thing is, I had a feeling that the plot was that a plot shift was coming anyway. I'm like, okay, there's no way that Killmonger's going to just team up with Claw, and that's how it's going to be for the whole movie. Like I kind of read it. That was one of the things about this movie that was kind of readable. I kind of saw it coming that, all right, him and Eric are going to have like some kind of a standoff of some kind. I ain't see him blowing his girlfriend away like he did before he did Claw, but yeah, I thought Andy Serkis did a great job as Claw. I thought the scene where they robbed the museum, I thought that was great. I thought that was a great scene. It was I kind of laughed when the dude was running away and he still shot him. Like it was he did a good job. I mean, I felt the exact same way about his character though in Age of Ultron. Like he served his purpose perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a situation where if they did do a whole Eric Killmonger and like Claw team up at the end of the movie, that would have been very prototypical Marvel. So I'm kind of happy that they took him off the table, at least as far as we know. They kind of left it open for interpretation of what's going to happen. I gotta be honest with you. You don't show the scene where they do a close up of that gun without there being something involving with that.
I liked him. I've heard some people say he's over the top. I liked him.
That's Claw though. He is over the top.
Yeah, it was really great. And Andy Serkis did a really good job. I know he was as big as he was. I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, Andy Serkis. I had gold in my mind.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
He been hanging out with Planet of the Apes. He was like, no. I really liked what they did with the interpretation of Claw's weapon hand, where it was a prosthetic limb that actually looked like a prosthetic limb. and because they could have really got away with it, like making it look like a regular hand, and so I enjoyed that aspect of it. I'm kind of sad to see him go as a villain, though. Like, I get how it served a plot point, but I kind of wanted to see more of that. And I think Marvel kills off villains way too quickly and way too regularly.
Do too. I didn't think they should have killed off any of the villains in this.
And I think me neither. And I think one of the things that Marvel, for me, has failed with to translate from comic books. It's always been cool to see one hero's villains face a random other hero. Like if you see Venom show up in Iron Man, you're like, oh crap. Or I don't know, anything. The Juggernaut shows up against the Avengers, something like that. Like it's always been cool to see villains cross over. And Marvel just kills their villains. Like that's the solution to most of their storylines, where I think there's a lot more you can mine from these characters. I thought that he could have been a weapons dealer. That translates to so many other movies, and the fact that they showed that he was intelligent and tactical too, but had this craving for vibranium. I was really looking forward to it. And now again, it served the purpose for this movie. But then you also kill your other villain in the movie, which I was really looking forward to him having kind of a Vegeta Goku relationship with not the same extreme like that, but being part of Wakanda.
But you can't redeem Killmonger like that. That's redeeming him basically. If you're gonna have him as a Vegeta, though.
Why can't you? Why can you redeem Darth Vader, but you can't redeem Killmonger? Why can't you heal the trauma of a person to show that we can all heal? And that's what I was hoping for. And we have it in our brains for some reason that, now again, I'm not gonna, but we have the good evil thing in our brains a lot of times, where once someone does something that stains them forever, they can never come back. No, especially when it comes from a source of pain. Everything we do is to meet a need, and he was in pain. He was in pain, and it caused him to make other decisions that were represent. Why couldn't he pay his penance by using the skills and knowledge he knew to help the country of his homeland, or help the people that he related to as a liaison or something like that? Maybe not giving us full freedom, but why couldn't that have been used? Because we see so many other people. I keep going to these places because I know it wasn't in the movie, but like, yeah, you've been traumatized. You've seen these things growing up. You've seen these things that could torture you. Maybe you went to prison. Maybe whatever. Doesn't mean you get thrown away. You can. There's still. You know what I mean? I'm not saying this right, but that.
I mean, I get you. I mean, I would have still pulled for him regardless. I mean, people watched Dexter for years, and he was a serial killer. People pulled for him. People pulled for Walter White, and he was giving meth to kids. Like that's the thing. Like people pull for people that have no redeeming qualities. So why can't we pull for this dude who's actually trying to do the right thing? He just has bad methods.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Go ahead.
No.
No, I was just gonna say that I think to Chris's point, I feel on both sides of it, because I really didn't want him to die. I thought that his send-off was amazing, but at the same time, I thought that he would have been such a great ongoing progressional villain. So if they got him to a point, it's like, you know, now he has this redeeming. It can't be an immediate thing because his ideological perspective is just off. But I get what Chris is saying. Like, where are you gonna put this man? Like it's not like they're gonna like lock him up somewhere with vibranium around him. He's not gonna be able to get. He's gonna get out. So it falls into this cliche kind of thing. So it's like, what are you gonna do with him? But to Anthony's point, if he hypothetically speaking did get out and he got some kind of revelation within himself, yes, my dad died. Yes, these people left me. But now, kind of like M'Baku said to T'Challa, it's like, you're the first king that's ever come here and saying they need my help. Like if Killmonger or Eric got in his heart that, you know, these people, they don't agree with what he's saying. They know what kind of man he is, but they're not going to leave him behind anymore. Like they're going to acknowledge who he is. If he can get some kind of self-approval within himself, like I am a part of these people one way or another, then eventually, yeah, he could still coexist because he would fall into a line of like a Magneto kind of role. It's just that's not how they wrote him. And it does fall victim to kind of like the Marvel stigma of just killing your villains. But he definitely had the most beautiful send-off than any of the villains.
Killmonger's no different than Wolverine. Like, Wolverine has a really messed up past and does really messed up things in his past, but we accept him as a hero. Why? You know what I mean? Like,
But I don't know, man. Like, look,
I mean, even Killmonger.
Go ahead.
But even Killmonger in the comics and stuff, it's a situation with him where he keeps coming back. You know, like in the comics, he leads his own tribe and stuff because his dad was the one that got the tribe excommunicated out of Wakanda and stuff, and Killmonger feels some sort of way and stuff, and it's kind of like back and forth revenge between those two. So it's like, at the same time, it's like if you have Michael B. Jordan, I feel there was a point where I think you could have that Killmonger could have been redeemed as a character prior to this movie, but I think once he passed that, it was like, well, I guess you could redeem it, but is it really earned considering everything that he's done? You know, it's like, and I understand that considering the fact that where Loki is at.
Well, see, I disagree with how they're doing Loki. I disagree how they're doing Loki. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, it's just like, you know, and I guess you could say be like Loki and stuff, which Loki has always been like, what's your end game? Because even I don't buy into like, oh, he's good now. Because I'm like, come on, guys, like really, like we're doing this, you know. So it's a thing where it's like him being killed, it didn't bother me, but at the same time, there was that small part of me. He's like, it'd been nice if he's still alive, but again, who says that he isn't alive? Because I mean, you know, I know he took the knife out and stuff, but who's to say T'Challa didn't fucking keep him on ice?
They can heal spines. Why can't they heal muscles in the heart? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, who's to say that he didn't keep him on ice? Like he kept in the comics, he kept Shuri alive after she was quote unquote dead, and he kept her in stasis.
Right,
you know, whatever. So who's to say that he didn't do that with Killmonger until whatever, you know? So
and I see your point. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say another thing too is a lot of times with origin movies, with like superhero origin movies, a lot of times they'll kill the villain because that kind of cements the character into who they are. It kind of cements them into who they are, you know, like, and so with Killmonger, it's one of those things. His death, in my opinion, is what really set off T'Challa saying, okay, I got to be better because there could potentially be hundreds of little Killmongers growing up out there. Yeah. And if I can help a single one of them the way I wished I could have helped him, I'll be a better person because of it.
And that makes sense because I almost thought he was going to name that center from the building he grew up in. I thought he was going to name it after him or something. Like, and again, it could just because I just like the character so much, and Michael B. Jordan just so like I don't know, he was so great in the role. He was great in the role, so I could be biased to that point. But I see your point.
I feel like I'm biased with this whole movie though. I do. True. I'm not gonna lie, Anthony. Like, there's nothing wrong with being biased. Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, it's like it's one of those situations where you can see both sides. So it's like, well, if they decided to go this way, and that's what I said. That's why I feel even when they killed Claw, it's like, who's to say that he didn't figure some crazy shit out where he's living sound now? You know,
that's what I was gonna say. Is that's the one thing I hated about Claw dying. There's this great line from one of the comic books where like Claw like invades Wakanda, all this other stuff, and like Black Panther is like. He has his mom, and he's talking about like, you will surrender or I'll kill your mom and destroy your country. And like Black Panther's like, oh, do you have any children or something like that? And he's like, no, why? He's like, because I'd have to kill them too. And like hangs up on him. And I thought they were gonna put that line somewhere in the I guess not, because it's still a Disney movie. But I think I also have to reconcile that this is a kinder, gentler Black Panther than we're used to in the comics. Like, this isn't the Black Panther in the comics with like, you invade Wakanda, like the Skrulls. The one place the Skrulls didn't go back to was Wakanda because he like cut off all their heads. They put them on pikes as a warning. Like, I don't care what you do to the rest of Earth, don't come here. Like you know, Black Panther is very unforgiving when it comes to his leadership. I mean, his role as protecting his kingdom in the comics. So I also have to reconcile that with this movie.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess both of you guys made a really interesting point of we don't know ultimately what might happen. Like, for a long time, I thought that Ultron was still alive. And I mean, he could very well be. We saw the Ultron head randomly in Spider-Man Homecoming as a joke. But I thought that it would have been an interesting part of Claw if they found a way of making him direct sound, because they kept on focusing on his arm so many times. And I was like, okay, I get it. It's from Wakanda. Like, why you keep focusing in on his arm? And so I was like, you know, is this going to play a role later on that he's going to become like pure sound and they're going to move into that? And the other thing, like you said, with Killmonger, like he did have his own tribe and Nakia was a part of that. And there's so many different ways that they can pit his character. So I guess moving forward, we'll see where this is going to go. But I guess to end out on this, what did you guys think on the action, the CG, and the music? And just kind of describe what you thought about all three individually.
I mean, the music, I think we covered it in our show and stuff like that. I think the music was fine. I like it and stuff. I still need to listen to the original score, but I like the actual soundtrack, you know, from Kendrick and them, because I think it, you know, and I think they even mentioned it too when they did the music, that when they did the original soundtrack and they did the regular soundtrack, they wanted it to be a point where they can actually meld in the original soundtrack to the actual music soundtrack from Kendrick and them and have it blend very well with each other and stuff and complement each other and stuff. So I thought that actually worked, because at no point are you like, oh man, they got African drums, and then, oh, it actually does synth in with, you know, whatever rap track they got on the soundtrack that cuts into it and stuff. It actually works. Outside of that, you know, trying to think, yeah, I mean, like I said, soundtrack was good. The fight scenes were good. I feel they could have turned up the brightness a little bit on that very first fight in the forest, just a bit, because at one point I was like, okay, I could see T'Challa, then I can't see him, and it's like it was. Like I said, it could have turned up the contrast just a bit on that. I didn't mind the last fight between Killmonger and T'Challa, but it did. The CG was a bit wonky at certain spots and stuff. Could have been a little bit better, but it didn't necessarily take me out of it. It was just kind of like, that was a little wonky there, especially when they're falling down onto the train tracks and stuff. It's like, that is a little dodgy and stuff. But like I said, it all worked and stuff, because even the, you know, fight out there and outside on the field and stuff was actually pretty dope. I actually liked how all that kind of came together and stuff. So yeah, did enjoy it.
For the music, I love the blend in the movie, the actual blend of like traditional and modern. Like it was really nice. I liked it fit everything really, really well. The fight scenes, the best fight to me, honestly, was the one with the first ritual combat one. That was the one that was the best to me. I felt like it wasn't on par with the fight choreography in like Winter Soldier or Civil War. Like I felt like it wasn't bad, but it's not the best we've seen out of Marvel. I thought the CGI, to be honest, there were parts where it was kind of off, but not more so than any other non-Avengers movie. You know what I mean? Like all the standalone movies, pretty much, they have great moments, and there's some wonky parts of the other plot. So I mean, like for this one, I didn't really like where the waterfall when they went up, like that kind of caught my eye. You could tell it was a lot of stuff going on there. And there's a couple of times when he was actually falling and his body was twisting when him and Killmonger were falling, that I was like, this might be kind of like Blade 2 type of stuff. But yeah, but overall, I mean, those are like nitpick things, because there was also stuff that was great CGI in places, and there was, you know, great fight moments, like again the Killmonger versus him fight, or the open field fight, Civil War kind of thing. So yeah,
I love the music. I've listened to the score, and I love that. I also have Kendrick's soundtrack. I love that too. I've been running to it at the gym. Like, I absolutely love it. The fight scenes were pretty good. There were just times where I kept going back and forth, like, okay, like, are you advanced or are you not? Because like at one point, like that fight at the end, I'm like, so you have like the most advanced technology. You have all these weapons. You have hover bikes and cars and spaceships that look like dragonflies. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you have like attack rhinos. And it just kind of felt that felt kind of wonky and like forced and out of that. It felt out of place to me because I'm like, you got T'Challa's sister back here, like wielding dual needlers.
Yes.
I kept thinking like Thundercat kind of technology.
Yeah. But then on the other side here, it's like, oh, and we have charging rhinos. And I'm like, that's kind of unbelievable. And also when they're fighting against each other using Wakandan technology. When this tribe from the mountains like shows up to be like the big damn heroes trope, how did they help them fight back? Because they're fighting against people with all this technology. Like, did I miss something? Or it was just kind of unbelievable. That part was kind of unbelievable to me. That part was unbelievable. Now, the thing I was thinking the whole movie long, like if they fight, if Michael B. Jordan and T'Challa both fight and go at it with these vibranium suits, they're just gonna get to a standstill after they get tired because no one's gonna win this. But then they shifted it and they literally fought on an underground railroad. and that's how they got past that. I'm like, okay, I can see why they did that. But what I don't get is like you got like dragonfly ships flying all around, all this advanced technology, and also you have rhinos.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta be real though too. I like, in keeping in line with the comics, Killmonger has always just beat the brakes off of T'Challa. And I like that in this movie, like he needed luck and extra help to actually win. And I mean,
strategy.
The strategy, yeah, but it's just, I actually enjoy that because it's like, if that fight went longer, Killmonger would have just beat T'Challa all over again and stuff. And I actually am perfectly fine with that and stuff. I actually like that because not too many movies would put their heroes in a very vulnerable kind of situation like that and stuff. Because it's always, the hero triumphs just because, and it's like, no, he, like you said, he had to use strategy clearly in that fight in order to win, and no other movie would ever let their heroes get their behind whipped like that.
He was losing that fight. He was
losing that fight. I mean, especially the waterfall fight. Like, I don't know too many movies that will let their heroes lose.
Yeah, there was no trick. He got whooped. There were
it was straight up. Yeah, it was straight up. Like he did to him what happened to him at the beginning of Creed.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so it's like I said, it's rare for a movie to actually allow their hero to do that. I mean, hell, I don't even think the Captain America movies had Cap really on that level. I mean, unless you count Civil War, where Stark was beating them because computer. But I mean,
right.
You will never see Captain America in that position. So I actually don't mind seeing T'Challa being a vulnerable kind of character. He isn't like walking around like a walking tank,
There were a couple of fight scenes where visually it looked great when she plays Michonne. What's her real name?
Denai Guerra.
When she was on top of the car and that red dress was in the wind and the spear.
That was dope.
That was serious.
Amazing. Like I'd have a poster of that, like a painted poster of that. I'd have it somewhere. Like that was like off a comic book page. Whoever pictured that and put that to film, amazing. The Star Wars space battle in Wakanda we got with the hover ships and stuff was amazing too. That was something we wouldn't have seen outside of Star Wars, and I love that. I know we're ending. There's one thing I wanted to say about Black Panther is that I love how this actor portrays this kingly, quiet presence of authority without having to say I'm the best everywhere. But when he yells, and that's such important. When he was like, "I am your king," like because he's so quiet all the time, there was a hush in the theater when he got loud.
Oh, yeah.
You ever been around somebody who's not like they're the really dangerous person in the room? Like the person that's talking about, yeah, man, I know how to fight, I can box, I can do all this, and he's not the person you watch out for. He's the guy who doesn't say anything. You know what I mean? The quiet, calm, authority guy that's really dangerous. So when he actually speaks, it has some weight to it, and he did a really good job because they could have made him another witty Marvel character, and they didn't. They
I was
didn't.
gonna say, I know we're getting ready to go, but I wanted to hear y'all's opinion about your favorite scene in the movie.
I think for me, um, probably the reveal of the stealth freeze, the new suit and stuff when he's just running out there and he says for boss stakes and stuff and he transforms into like the Panther and stuff the second time and stuff. It was actually pretty. I just like the visuals of it because, like I said, I like Coates' book and Stealth Freeze doing the art, and it kind of reminded me of when they show it inside the comic book when he transforms and you see it like kind of come out and transform like that. I thought that was actually dope. Just visually that whole thing in South Korea, the chase sequence and all that stuff. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that whole makeup of everything, and now I think that's tied up with that is Killmonger versus T'Challa at the waterfall because that I fucking love that fight.
I don't want to repeat what Chris said because everything he said was correct. And I usually hate the black sedan scene. Like everything that I like, that's a typical thing to have the black sedan chase in a movie nowadays.
Yeah.
But I did like it. So I'm gonna pick another scene. I'm gonna say that the spiritual plane scenes with the ancestors was really great to me. Again, for that, like to see a movie with black fathers and sons having this bond and caring stuff was so great. So I'm gonna put all the spiritual plane scenes together and say that I really enjoyed that spiritual aspect of the movie. Excuse me, and deeper connection.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on that. The spiritual scene when Killmonger gets the heart-shaped herb, goes into the sand, comes out back in Oakland at his house, and you see everything on the outside that looks like the spiritual plane, but like this is his own rendition of it. And then you see Sterling K. Brown and his dashiki and just talking to him. That was one of the most powerful, to me, moments of the whole movie because it solidified why Eric is rectifying what he's doing. His ideological perspective, his pain, everything. It was all conveyed in such a beautiful. If that scene hadn't have been there, I don't know if I'd feel as the way I do about Eric. As a character and as a villain. Like I thought it was just probably one of the most cementedly good scenes of the whole movie. And I agree with you guys when it comes to the CG. I guess I'll say this. The soundtrack, first off, the score is amazing. I've been having that on repeat. Soundtrack is great. My favorite action scene actually was the fights whenever there's not a suit involved, which I know that sounds bad, but when they were fighting in the casino, that fight with the Nye, she was a beast, bro. All the fights in the water, specifically the fight with Killmonger versus T'Challa, I thought it was all great. I think what it is that the Winter Soldier movie set the bar when it came to hand-to-hand combat and actually really seeing like your hero, not in a suit, but just fighting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of like, that set the bar. And so I saw different elements of that. But honestly, the very last scene where Killmonger and Eric were fighting and they went down in the Underground Railroad. And
I never noticed that before you said that just now.
Yeah.
And their suits got, kind of dampened. I would have actually preferred the suits to just be worn out, to not be able to be used at all. And I got to really see them fight legit. Like have it well lit and just let them have it out. They both have powers. Like if you want to let me feel this impending danger, you could have took advantage of that because that's how I felt at the end of Winter Soldier when Bucky and Cap were fighting. I was like, yo, I don't know what's about to happen because daggone, Bucky got his arm broke, Cap got stabbed. Like it was raw and rough, and I didn't get that with this end fight scene. As impactful as the end send-off for Eric was, I felt like if they didn't have their suits on and it was just them, I think it would have been one of the best fights that they could have ever ended off for this movie. And I don't know, that's just me personally. It's kind of a nitpick, but I felt like it would have platformed the movie a different way.
I think that's a great perspective. And I think, and I meant to say this earlier, what did y'all think about I'll say this. When he got up and said, and they were like, these are heart-shaped herbs for the next king. He's like, next king? No, burn all this stuff. Like, that again was such a tragic thing to me, especially after coming out that dream, because he couldn't picture, like, dude, this ain't for somebody to usurp you. This is for you to pass to your children. You know what I mean? For the next one. And like the fact that your pain is causing you that you can't see anything but now and anything but your hurt, and you like burn all this stuff. I was really affected by that. And then when they saved one, I was like, all right, they saved one. They're gonna go plant it.
But you know, full well,
they
got contingencies for those kind of stuff too. I have to imagine they have contingencies in case shit goes down. They got some other stash of those heart-shaped herbs,
but it wasn't mentioned. And so when they fed that last one,
they're gonna call in Groot for that.
Yeah, I was like, like Groot, we need you to. But I wonder if that's going to be a thing, because in the comics, only the royal family can eat it without it.
Unless they make synthetic ones. Unless they make synthetic ones like in the comics.
Could be, but it really. It's kind of how I feel about whenever art's lost or something like exotic is destroyed, because like it's like, oh my man, this is, you burnt this now, but it's gone forever. Something's going to be beyond you, and again that generational thing. I don't know. I know I keep getting off rails, but it was like so much when I think about this movie, and even when you just said the Underground Railroad thing, I was like, oh, look at that, huh? I don't know. There's so much they packed into this movie that anything I say negative is a nitpick. Do I think it's the best Marvel movie? No. But
I don't know. I mean, as a movie, it structurally actually managed to tell, because if you really think about it, most movies, when they try to tell a story that's supposed to be kind of like related to the real world, they'll start off fine, and then the message just gets kind of like clopped together as it gets towards the end of the movie. And what I like about this movie was that like Killmonger and Nakia, if you really think about it, again, same ideas. It's just one person let his anger get the best of him, and it kind of killed whatever point that he was trying to make. And that's true to real life. There are a lot of people out here that got good ideas, but they tend to let, whether it's their anger or they let their emotions cloud any common sense judgment in executing their plans. That tends to be a thing that happens and stuff. And the kid was kind of like very kind of like cool, calm, like, hey, let's be diplomatic about this if we're going to really kind of like bring Wakanda out to the real world,
What did y'all think about his last line about the bury me at sea thing?
Ooh,
that was actually pretty powerful. I knew some people that didn't get it, but it's like, yo, if you don't get it, I mean, I'm not gonna say you're dumb. I think some people got it. I get it. Some people got it. I got it. It's powerful. It is very powerful, and stuff. Because he made a point. It's like, what, you just gonna have me fucking locked up for life? So why should I be locked up? Fuck it. Might as well.
I actually had to come around on that, because at first I was like, all right, this movie is really good about its message without being like too heavy-handed. And I was like, that last line is really heavy-handed. And then I started talking to other people who, like, I felt like we grew up with that kind of knowledge, or that background knowledge. And I was talking to other people, and it's like, wow, man, that was really powerful to me. I didn't really get that before. I didn't understand. And I was like, oh, it wasn't for me. Like, It wasn't, you know what I mean? It was for that other aspect. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, or even talking to Mo or some of my Nigerian friends about how they depicted Nigeria in this movie again. How Nigerians are depicted in movies in America was really interesting. And then I had to get out myself for a second. It's like every message wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Every message wasn't necessarily from my perspective. And then that line became a little bit more palatable.
Yeah, I will say this though. Did y'all, at least this thing, did y'all enjoy the aspect that they didn't like go heavy-handed with like, oh hey, we're gonna tie into an Infinity War. Here's a Soul Stone.
Yes,
I love that.
I'm happy.
I actually do love that.
Where would they have room?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, because everybody theorized that, oh, the heart-shaped herb is a Soul Stone. I'm like, nah, that's too damn obvious. And at that point, you kind of like, that's another thing too. If Doctor Strange introduced magic, I like that we got Wakandan magic, like the whole thing of the Panther god. Because I think if you made it the Soul Stone, it takes away the edge of the whole idea of the Panther god. It really does.
I was happy to see something that didn't really relate to the whole Infinity War impending. Like, I was happy to see a completely standalone movie. Like, I was glad. Like, yeah, it had people from other movies in it and people that we've seen before, but I don't I wanted to watch this movie without thinking about if Josh Brolin was going to show up at the end.
Yeah,
I did like that Bucky cameo though. Like that Bucky cameo, I was
Oh
happy to
yeah,
see him.
but even Bucky, he was even looking all fresh and Wakandan. Had the good Wakandan shampoo.
I mean, look, man, they call
About
him
to
the
get
White
about to
Wolf.
get him some Wakandan princess.
Killing next to the water, kicking it on Pride Rock, like he was doing his damn thing. He was like, and I was happy to see that. He was like, "Yo, I got one arm, but you know what? I'm living my best life out here with the Fresh Prince. Like, I'm
No
doing
more cold weather. He like no more cold weather. Keep me where it's sunny.
Yeah,
I mean, and here's the thing too. It's like,
me.
yeah, I mean, and that's what I liked about it. It's like, oh, they call him the White Wolf. Oh shit, like the comics, because there is a comic character from Wakanda, white dude called the White Wolf.
I thought about Jon Snow.
Yeah, but I mean, there is a really big character that's called the White Wolf, and he actually did run like the Wakandan like special forces and stuff.
That's cool.
And that was actually pretty cool and stuff. So it's like, I like all those things. Like I said, the fact that it was like, okay, no Soul Stone, thank God, because I want to see more magic elements in the MCU. That's just magic.
Bucky gonna get that vibranium arm. Gonna be like Spider-Man catch.
You really
this?
think they're gonna give him a vibranium arm?
Yes.
Spider-Man still
They
gonna
are.
catch it though. He gonna go back for an upgrade.
They're gonna give him a vibranium arm because he's gonna need it for Infinity War.
Yeah, he's gonna get an
They
upgrade.
gonna kill everybody in Infinity War anyway. It ain't gonna matter.
Yeah.
I just need my cap scene in Infinity War. If they give me my cap scene, I'm gonna be happy. And y'all know the cap scene I'm talking about. Y'all know it. If you don't know it, go read. It's gonna be all right. But I got
this
to
might
go
be-
soon. I'm old.
Oh yeah. So one last question for you guys, then I'll go ahead and end this out. A lot of people have given their ranking as far as where this is ranking wise in the MCU films. I'd like for you to do that, but also how would you rank this story amongst the other MCU films? Because nobody I've heard talked about that. How do you grade this story as an overarching story in comparison to the rest of the MCU? Where does it rank at? And then where does the movie rank at for you as well?
I mean, it's like top 5. I would put it at like number 3. Like I got like Winter Soldier, I got Avengers, and I got Black Panther. Those were like the 3 kind of like, and you could say, and like I said, I think those were kind of the movies that really, as just strictly movies, they held an impact. Like you could say Black Panther held an impact in terms of for Black people and just what it brought to Black heroes.
Look at D's late ass.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to pop in like that gorilla tribe at the end of Black Panther.
So yeah, I put it in my top 3. Like Avengers was like the movie that like really was like, oh shit, we actually see the actual Avengers, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, and you know, in the real life and stuff. And I mean, that was a big thing. That was a big deal. Winter Soldier, that was a big deal because we actually see Cap doing hand to hand. Everything that you've seen from Cap in the comics, they brought to real life, you know, Shield, everything. So it held an impact as just strictly movies. That's why I would say those are kind of like my top 3. And like I said, you know, Iron Man at like 4 and 5, it kind of alternates between like Guardians and, I hate to say it, I mean, Doctor Strange a little bit, just because I like that magic element to it and stuff. I like it big time. So it's tough. It really is tough for me because I like a lot of these movies and what they brought to the table, but like, and you know what? I'll actually alternate Spider-Man Homecoming a little bit too, if we want to really count that. So it's like 4 and 5, it's like a toss up, but those top 3 is kind of like solid there and stuff until, I mean, like I said, I know I'm going to like Infinity War and stuff. If they do something that really like breaks the mold and stuff, that's man, that's going to be tough.
So, Chris, this is why I always Bogart in front of you, because you say what I want to say, and instead of have me sitting here trying to come up with some stuff later on. Like, damn it! All right, so you said that already. 3 or 4. It's 3 or 4 for me. Winter Soldier is my favorite. Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie to me. Not my favorite, but it's the best Marvel movie to me. And it just kind of ties with some other movies at like 3 or 4. Like it's fighting for it. I'd have to see it a couple more times to see how it sits with me afterwards. But that's where it goes right now. It's around that homecoming spot for me. Yeah, that's it. Because I can't say anything Chris hasn't said. Chris, this is why I'm secretly plotting on poisoning you and taking your country. I'm gonna burn everything, everything.
I'm gonna burn it all.
Burn it all.
I tell you to burn it. I'm
Hey, Keaton, what about you? I guess in terms of the story, and then if you want to do a secondary, the best Marvel movie for you.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you that this movie had me shook because, like, I already went into it while the Olympics was going on. So I'm sitting there, I was scoring it the same way they score the figure skaters, where they have like the little thing at the top and it turns like green or red or yellow, depending on how they do. And so going through the movie, I'm just sitting there watching, and I'm like, that's good. That's good. That's good. And there was one point, it was one of the last spirit scenes when he goes, and when T'Challa goes and he talks to his dad. He talks to his dad, and when he was angry with his dad and not at Killmonger, I was like, yo, it's gonna be hard for this movie to lose. Like they just knocked it. That was Barry Bonds, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, down by 3, and he destroyed it, broke the bat. The ball is in the ocean. Like at that point, I was like, man, it's gonna be hard for this movie to not even to get close to falling out of the top 3. So like before the third act, that movie was in my top 3, and I was like, man, all they got to do is not fumble and let the clock run out.
Yeah.
Like at this point, I'm like, all they got to do is let the clock run out, and they'll be fine. And they stuck the landing though. Like the way Killmonger went out just gave me straight chills. It reminded me of my man's monologue from American Gods. I was just like, whoo, this is just fire. And so honestly,
Anger gets shit done.
Yeah, man. Story-wise, I put it in the top 3. Definitely top 3. Because it gave me, like, walking away from it, it did everything I wanted it to do. That's the same feeling I had when I saw like Iron Man. That's the same feeling I had when I saw the first Avengers. It was just it did everything that I wanted it to.
I mean, side note though, it was funny? I was thinking back to it as well. Whiplash could have easily been kind of like Killmonger, because if you look at Iron Man 2, he kind of had the same thing, like, yo, I'm beefing with Tony because he did some shit with my dad.
Yeah.
And if that movie was executed well, he definitely could have been on the level of Killmonger, like, yo, I'm fucking taking this motherfucker out and I'm going to do my thing. And it's kind of unfortunate that the way that movie kind of went is just Whiplash is turned into just, yeah. So,
yeah, we caught Whiplash on Whiplash. But that didn't even mean to say it like that. But I just want to make sure I give this time for the Black Geek, another member of Three Black Geeks. D, what's going on, D? Do you hear me, bro? Hello?
Are you there?
I gave him the spotlight.
You're not speaking his language. Hit him with the shoulders. Hit him with the shoulders, Chris. He'll come.
D, you there? He keeps on unmuting his mic. You gotta go to that gear, man.
It's like messed up or something, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, change the settings, bro. But nah, I just wanted to make sure I left it open for D to be able to answer any of the questions. D, some of the things we asked, we talked about what do you think about the score? What do you think about the fight scenes? What do you think about the CG? What do you think about Michael B. Jordan's final line? And ultimately, what was your ranking as far as this one? And just what did you think about the movie as a whole? But I don't know if he can hear me. I just thought I don't know if he can hear me.
I can't hear the sound. This is bullshit.
You see that, Chris? I took him. I'm taking everybody you love.
Wait, you could have been Tobias well, right? Kind of looked like Tobias a little bit. Okay, D's gone. We done scared D off.
About to go to Japan next.
Let's go. It's like, done. Like game over.
But nah, you guys, this has been actually really dope. Do y'all have any closing thoughts for Infinity Wars moving forward, and then I guess even any connection with Black Panther moving forward. Because I mean, one of you guys said everybody's gonna die anyway.
As far as
if that's the case, is every villain that's died before they're gonna come back? Like how is this gonna go?
Okay,
where is this gonna go?
I may have misspoke. What I should have said was I hope everybody dies in Infinity War because it's highly unbelievable that any of them can come near Thanos. I want Thanos to break Tony in half. I want them. The Marvel Universe, they need to take an L. They need to take so many L's.
I mean, everybody knows Infinity War is going to be them taking the L.
We saw Iron Man take the L in the trailer where he put his hands up and got knocked out.
That's not enough. That's not enough. I want to see him get thrown into space and bounce off the moon and burn coming back into Earth's atmosphere. Like I want an L. Like I want a capital L. Like hold that 12th letter. Like hold it high in the sky like baby Simba. Like that's what I want. Like I want it to be complete obliteration, especially now that they have like.
They owe you money or something, man?
The reason I think I like Black Panther so much is all of Marvel's movies are starting to feel the same to me, and I want something different. I want some losers, man. I want some L's to be taken. Hooked on a feeling.
I mean, I would say
no more Def Leppard playing with Iron Man dancing. Like none of that, man. I want Thanos to roll up in there like Suge Knight. Like no more dancing. Come to death row. Like I want it. Like all of you that want you, that don't want your superhero peeing in his suit, drinking too much.
I mean, I gotta be real though. I like the aspect that I would say since Civil War, Marvel has gotten better with the bad guys. I mean, think about it. Like Zemo succeeded and stuff. Yes, happenstance aside, he fucking succeeded. He was actually a pretty good villain. Hela, very good villain and stuff like that.
She's all right.
Yeah, I know, but still, Vulture, good villain. Loved him. You know, he had layers to him. I would say much like Killmonger, Vulture has some layers to him where it's like, oh, he just want to provide for his family and he fucking hates rich people.
Who didn't sympathize for him?
Thanks for leaving them alive for us, Marvel. Damn, you always killing people.
They left alive. They left a lot of the prelude to the Sinister Six alive. They left Scorpion alive, Matt Gargan.
And there's a theory about Vulture too, how he connects to what Trump did to those small business people in New York. Sorry, I'm interrupt because I'm gonna go soon. But Infinity War.
What?
I'm just saying, people gonna die, and I'm fine with it.
I mean, I can explain it, but it would take more minutes than we can talk about it off here. There's a theory about how to. Trump would do things like, I'm building a skyscraper. Hey, this small business, you're going to take care of all the glass in this building. So that building would pay for all the glass, put it up, and he would just not pay them. They couldn't fight him. They would go under because they put all their resources into the thing. What I was going to say is that, or so I've been told, don't come after me with your lawsuits. I ain't got no money like that. Infinity War, we know Hawk and Thor are going to take that L. For some reason, Hawk gets punched from space into Doctor Strange's house. And I think a big way to show how powerful Thanos is for him to take out the heavy hitters first. And as far as I know, Hawk has never actually beaten Thanos in the comic books. I think Thanos has said that he avoids actively fighting him, but I don't think
he just got punched in the face. He just punched Thanos in the face, and Thanos was like, "All right, well, bet I'm gonna have to fucking damn punch your ass back."
Right. And then, so we know that's gonna happen. I'm really just looking forward to seeing what happens when the whole Earth is cowering underneath Thanos's might and army, and then he goes to Wakanda and figures out you don't mess with Black Panther. You don't mess with Wakanda because Wakanda forever.
I still want Patton Oswalt's Thanos movie. The monologue he did. Know what I'm talking about?
I never heard that.
Oh man, I gotta link you to it. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's off the wall. I'll link you to it sometime. He did it for an episode of Parks and Rec. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you definitely gotta send that. Because one thing that I thought was really interesting, you brought about Wakanda. I feel like, why would Thanos not know about vibranium and how much of a threat that Wakanda? If the world doesn't know, I feel like why wouldn't Thanos know about
Unless he
Wakanda?
knew,
How much?
But it's
unless he knows
vibranium.
the origin of vibranium. That's the only way that would work. You have to know the origin of vibranium and everything.
And we still don't know how rare vibranium is out in the outer galaxy, because you know, remember when Tony Stark went and hung out with the Guardians? All he did was roast him about how crappy his technology was. Like the Guardians of Tony Stark, like he's like, what is this most advanced armor on Earth? On Earth, yeah. And,
you already know Shuri is going to be hitting fucking Tony with the boy the whole time when she sees him.
Support that. I just want a bunch of alien heads on spikes around Wakanda's borders. Like, don't come here. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but that's what I want.
Oh yeah, if Avengers 1 had happened in Wakanda, it would have been over in 5 minutes. Wakanda would have handled that.
Yeah.
Hey, is D here?
Yeah, I can hear you, D.
First off, fuck you, you Tobias looking ass nigga. I know you was not going on me. Oh man, oh yellow ass motherfucker.
That was a compliment.
That wasn't a compliment.
We all talked about racial harmony and joining together, and you come up with
you do realize they didn't want no part of this shit. You do realize they didn't want no part of that war. It was just that cliche told them, hey, let's help them out. That's the only reason why they came there, to help T'Challa. And also,
you know what? This is why I keep poisoning your drinks.
Hey, I gotta be real though. Hey, I gotta be real though, dog. So, would y'all have been down for seeing a straight up one-on-one fight between M'Baku and fucking Killmonger?
It would have took away
if they didn't kill him. If they didn't kill him.
No.
Ain't nobody taking Killmonger in that movie.
No.
Yo,
that would have taken away from the movie, man. No.
Man, M'Baku would have died, bro.
Yeah, man, Killmonger was on it when they ran. when Martin Freeman straight up read my man's resume, and he was covered with dots. He had more dots than Victor Zsasz had cuts. Like that's when I knew. I'm like, that ain't nobody straight up taking Killmonger in a fair fight.
Everybody in this whole movie had cheat codes. So I don't know, man.
And then finally, somebody say that he was in the same circles as like Frank Castle or something like that. As like, I know what it means, but like, or doesn't really mean, but I don't know.
I mean, if you think about it too, I was thinking about it like we were talking about him burning all the herbs. I'm like, and also Killmonger didn't really think too far ahead, because I'm like, hey, dog, you know Captain America's out here, right? You gonna handle Captain America too? Just saying.
He thought vibranium and said, "Who's gonna fuck with me?" That's exactly what he said.
Oh, he was feeling himself hard. Once he knocked Boseman off that waterfall,
F5 his ass over.
He was feeling himself hard. Like, my man put Dirt Off Your Shoulder on repeat.
dog. Yo, notice
notice
they braided his hair back afterwards. After he got coordinated.
Oh yeah, like I heard, as soon as I heard there was a 4-hour cut originally submitted to Disney. After I watched the movie, I was like, 2 hours of that was just Killmonger probably millie rocking through Wakanda, just like I'm the king, did that. Who's your boy? Like, yeah, that was all it was. Like, dude was feeling himself hard after he won. I don't even blame him. I would have been feeling myself too.
But D, since you're here, man, what did you hear the questions that I asked?
Repeat it to me. I heard them. I forgot what you said though.
Okay, so I guess I'll go through the ground levels. Like, what did you think about the movie, expectations that you had, and then what did you really get out of it? What did you think about the score, the CG, the action? What did you think about, Killmonger in his very last line? And then just ranking wise, how do you rank this as far as the story amongst all the other MCU films? Not necessarily the movie.
Okay. My expectations were, to say they were high is it's kind of funny. I just wanted it to be functional. I wanted the movie just to be good. I didn't care what I was going to get out of it, really honest with you. I didn't expect to what they did already, and I said it before to you, it superseded my expectations because I wanted this just to be a good movie. I didn't want it to be a great movie or whatever. It's just that I think what I wasn't expecting was the impact that it would make. And it's kind of funny because I grew up, me personally, and I can't speak for nobody else, I grew up very proud of who I am. I grew up very proud of my race. I didn't need too many figures because I love history. I know Black history. I know everything. I know not everything. That's cocky as fuck, but I know enough of my history where it's like, why am I going to let some white person or something take me out of who I know who I am? So I never really. So to say I needed a Black superhero, I really didn't. I had enough. I seen enough. And every now and then when one show up, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna support Jon Stewart. I'm gonna support Bishop. I was a big Bishop fan, so I always had it in me just to go with it. And what I guess
they did Bishop wrong.
Oh God, didn't they? But anyway, but still, and shoot, it even bled to my little sister who doesn't give a fuck about superhero movies. She was a super big Storm fan, like every Black girl. But point is, I'm not that I'm miffed. I've always hated when people always have that same effect of I can only name like 2 Black superheroes, and it's like, nigga, you have a catalogs, name them. And so when I was shocked that not only everybody hopped on this movie, just the reaction it got, negative because the negative is just stupid. It's just people that want to make it about themselves and not about the movie or whatever. They just want like, oh,
Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. But no, I'm talking about the Black people, man. Now, yeah, I said my thing about Disney, but guess what? Disney's going to get his money despite whatever the hell I say. So it don't matter. You know what I mean? They're going to get their cut. But then some people take it to the next extreme. It's like, yo, dude, shut the fuck up. Just look at the movie. Look at the movie. You're going to complain that there's no Black people on the screen in the first place. So look at the movie. But I'm shocked at how everybody reacted to it, and I'm shocked how the world reacted to it. At first, I was like, oh, this movie's only going to make about, I think I said, what, 700 million on CJ? Yeah. And now, I still don't think it's going to get $1 billion, but I'm like, how close we going to get? So at this point,
500 million, and it's only Wednesday? It's like,
yeah, I know, right? You know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to make like 700, and now it's like, how close? I still don't think it's going to make $1 billion, but like, how close are they going to get? How this show gonna get? But still, as far as the score of the movie, I said it before. Well, I didn't say it on here. I thought the score was good. It was excellent. I wouldn't go out and chase it down, but there's a lot of, especially Killmonger's theme. I think everybody loves that one. But I love how they scored everything. The look. Well, if anything, I was super impressed. I was impressed of how certain sets look. Certain parts of the movie, the way where it was directed and all that, I thought I was actually impressed. The action was the only thing I didn't give to. I really didn't care for in this movie. It was regular action to me. There was nothing like, oh my God. It was regular action.
The waterfall scene?
The waterfall scene was okay. It was okay. It was okay. I forgot because me and Chris was the whole entire movie, we're riffing it. We're making fun of shit. So I forgot what we said during the waterfall fight scene, but I thought that was good. Even the one with
you were doing WWE commentating, like, by God,
yeah, we was like, oh, he kicked him down. Come on, get up. Whoa, wait a minute, he's going down to the waterfall. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, T'Challa didn't do it. You know that crap.
God is my witness. He's broken in half.
No. Actually, when Killmonger picked that motherfucker up and put him in, did the attitude adjustment and threw him off the waterfall. I was like, no, he didn't. What the hell?
Played
the NWO, Rumble in the Jungle.
Played the NWO theme like,
oh man. Me and Chris are clowning it, right? Meanwhile, there's this older Black woman that's like a few feet away from us, like, I can't believe it. She into it. We like, yo, chick, he's gonna win at the end. I don't know why you all it. But
that's what old Black people do. They don't know the plot.
I feel bad saying it, but I was like, yo, I knew this movie was gonna make a lot of money. I was like, looking at the trailers, I'm like, bruh, they bringing the nerds and the Tyler Perry crowd together.
I mean, that's insane.
How will it do in China, though? How will it do in China, do you think?
Man, look, China's China is so weird. I think the Asian community, and I'm not even trying to like judge it from my standpoint. What I get from our boy who lives in Japan and what I hear from other people, it's going to be so many question marks. Because at one point they're like, ooh, brown people, they're interesting, and then the next minute it's like, niggas, getting the fuck out of here. So it's really hard to really tell how we come off to them, and I hate that. I really do hate that. But That being said,
but not lumping all Asians.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Oh no.
Together.
Oh God, I'm not. Oh God, I'm not. Because I don't know how it is. I think this is going to be so many question marks about how great it's going to do in China. I don't even know, because you know how China, they'll hop on one movie where it's like, why? That movie's garbage, but they love it, you know. So it's really hard to tell.
Hey,
you know,
they like Terminator Genesis, and I question it.
exactly. Exactly. You and I, we was talking about Genesis. We're like, it flopped in America. Meanwhile, in China, however, it's like, what? See, that's what I'm saying.
China has saved a lot of movies' asses.
Oh man, they did. They did. Even the movie
Transformers movie.
Not that last one though.
Not that last one, no, man. Oh God, no. So, but yeah,
and
but even when
coming up this year, right?
Yeah, it is. I think next year. Is it next year? I don't know. I don't know. See, I don't know. I think China. I think China lives like John Cena. I'm just going off of wrestling wise. I think they do like him. It's kind of weird.
And that's also if WWE also promotes it too, because you know that.
Oh God, that is an if. That is an if. You know, you never know, whatever. But yeah, but from the music and all that, like I said, it's a great film. It superseded what I thought it was going to be, and I think that was more important. You know, that it did much better than what I think a lot of people thought it would do. And I love that. As far as my top, here's the thing I learned. It happened with this movie. I learned that I can't give no tops no more. Well, what's your top 5? I can't do it no more. I don't have it in me no more. I really don't, because I just don't. And I think, yeah, I can give it in a top 3, because as much as I liked Spider-Man Homecoming, it's like, come on, D. You know Black Panther's better than it. And then the Spider-Man fan of me is like, no, it's not. You know, so it's really hard. I know this much. It ain't number 1 or number 2, because that's Avengers and that's Avengers and Winter Soldier for me. So number 4, number 5. Number 4, number 5, like it's between 3 and 5. I can tell you that much for me personally. So I don't know. That's a real range. That's like a fight between the first Guardians, Homecoming, and Black Panther. But I think Black Panther I think what I'm really impressed about is not only the impact that it's made, but it is adding on to what I've been noticing about Black women being included in a lot of nerd stuff, and I'm super enjoying that. I'm over the moon of that, actually, and just the images or portrayals of these strong characters and all that mess. It's like, yes, I like that, because I was always that person that I want to see more Black girls. I know we see a lot of Black dudes in comedy. Well, not a lot, but you know what I mean? We see more of them than them. So us than them. So, whatever. I like that shit. But that's about it. That's all I got.
Want a good laugh, D? I told the guys earlier, this black porn star, Prince Yashua, wherever the fuck his name is.
Oh yeah, Yashua, that dude. Yeah, I know who you're talking about him.
Yeah, he came out and said, I like Black Panther. I'm not taking part in any sort of porn parody on this shit. Nope.
All right. Real talk, brother. Real talk. He is missing out of money. He is missing. That is bank that he can make. I don't know why. But that being said, I think I know why he said that, Chris. That will require him having scenes with Black girls, and what I seen, he don't like doing Black girls anyway.
Oh, dude, you could spin it. You could spin it, man. You could have him against the colonizers, dude.
You can't.
Oh
yeah. That actually reminded me. You said the last scene with Killmonger. Again, it didn't have the who was that? I think it was one of y'all said it had the same impact as Orlando Jones and
I compared it to it. Yeah.
Look, I get where you're coming from. Not for me. It ain't no, brother. Now, what Orlando said, nigga, I wanted to get up with a baseball bat and find the first white person.
Yeah. Now I'm not saying it topped it.
Oh yeah.
That was some higher learning type shit when you felt after that.
I'm not saying it topped it. Oh no. I ain't going that far. No. Nazi put it down. Yo, that was real.
Yeah. I love that, but yeah, but I agree with you. It had the same type of impact for me. It wasn't the last scene. It was the scene where it was just. It wasn't that scene. It was when he was in there with all the council people, council members and all that shit, all the other tribe members and all that. And he said, there are 2 billion people walking Earth that looks just like you, and y'all doing nothing about it. Right there, I started clapping. I yelled out in the back of the theater. Hey, look, we in the back of the theater. Here's me. Thank you. The reason
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Yo, dude, and it kills me because as much as I want to say I want to consider myself a fan of Black Panther, but I do read his books from time to time. I read this last one, the last run that they just had and all that. I'm not a big fan of him because really to me, T'Challa always comes off like a douchebag. I hate him. I really kind of do. He's an asshole. You need him. Oh my God, you need him. But him and Namor went like good. Actually, I told it to Chris when they paired him and Namor were paired up during Secret War. I was like, good. Both of y'all are assholes. Y'all can do something.
One's more of an asshole than the other. That's about it. It's like, well, Namor's a bigger asshole than
Namor. Yeah, Namor's a.
I like when Namor, Black Panther, and Doom are in the same room together. Like,
all of you are dicks. All of you.
To which it's like, hey, Doom is just like, hey, so you guys think you're more dicks than me? Hold my beer. I'm gonna invade Wakanda. How about that?
But see, that's the thing that gets me.
There was one time when somebody else touched. I think it was Namor. Like somebody, and he's like, you don't touch royalty, and he fucked them up. Like,
it's funny. Like I said, as much as I kind of went in there. Knowing it's not going to be like the comic at all, but I kind of went in there like, yo, fuck T'Challa. The first thing Killmonger say, I'm gonna back him up. I didn't expect it, and so I did it. So when the second he said that, I was like, my brother. I was about to put on the suit and look like Farrakhan for a second, like, oh my brother, tell him again, brother.
when they first showed him in the museum. And this lady's like giving him all the history, and he's like, actually, nah. But don't worry, I'm gonna take this off your hands for you. I lost it. I absolutely lost it. Right there in the theater, everybody was looking at me because I was laughing so hard. I was like, won't he do it? Won't he do it? He about to do
it. He was like, don't you gotta sit there and watch what you put in your body? I'm like, you about to say some alkaline, aren't you?
About to say some alkaline. Yo, actually, that's kind of funny because my wife's pregnant, right? And she was drinking like some water. I was like, yo, baby, is that got alkaline in it? She's like, what? Yo, you gotta make sure your water. She's like, if you don't shut the fuck up. So, but actually, that's kind of funny, King, because I was because when it's all right. I'm not a fan of Michael B. Jordan. I am not.
No,
I don't know why. I don't know why. Like I can't. Like, it's kind of funny. My wife, she has me rolling because she never forgave him for being an underwhelming voice of Cyborg and Flashpoint. She has not gotten over that. She was like, he is so underwhelming in this movie. Like, that's Michael B. Jordan. Like, yeah. Why does he sound like he doesn't care to be in the movie?
Probably didn't.
He probably, that's messed up. I'm like, this is Flashpoint. The movie's good. Whatever. Anyway, it don't matter. But I was never really a big fan of him. So I was like, man, I was like torn. Like, I'm gonna back this dude up because real talk, fuck T'Challa. I want Wakanda to burn. But at the same time,
that's for the sequel. That's for the sequel. That's for burning the sequel. Don't worry.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm scared of a sequel. Oh, I'm scared of a sequel. I'm scared of a sequel. I don't know why. It's like, anyway, that's another topic. But but when it came to Michael B. Jordan's whole portrayal of Killmonger, it superseded what I thought he would do. He did much better. I'm still not a fan of his acting. I'm not. I really don't like the way he acts. But you know what? Cool. Cool. So whatever. You know what? Actually, you know what, CJ? I put it for you this way, and don't feel any type of way. You know how people like say, "Oh God, that's a bad example." You know how people are like, "Oh man, Megan Good's a good actress." Like, no, she's not. I feel that way about Michael B. Jordan. He's a good actor. No, he's not. So I don't know. It's a bad example. I'm just trying to get.
You know what's funny? It's like I think I was right, maybe because I was riding high at the time.
You like Creed. You love Creed, dude.
I was loving Creed because I was just loving, like, man, this actually was really good. It didn't turn sideways like I was kind of thinking it was and stuff. Because at that point, Coogler only had one movie, so I was like, I don't know if he can do Creed. And I was like, oh, this movie's actually really good. And that kind of was like, when he sat there,
I think Coogler killed it in this, man. I really think he did, man.
Last scene where he was all like, yo, I just want to feel wanted. I was like, oh my God, I almost shed a tear on that shit. Like, God damn.
Yeah, bro. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
So I was like, damn. I was like, this dude should fucking be in the Academy Awards nominated. And then I was like, and then Lucas had to kind of call me, hey, Chris, I love Creed. I loved his performance. That was not going to get nominated. I was like, I hate you, Lucas, but you're right.
No, when you said
God damn it.
Because you told me that, like, man, I'm about to share a duck tail. Like, Chris, you had a daddy, man. Why you acting like it?
I don't know, man. It's just that scene was just like, yo, that was actually really touching.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, to be fair, there's been a lot of reports of different people having different emotional, like, feelings throughout the entire film. Whether it was like Okoye and the Nakia's conversation about duty to the throne and then duty to the loved one, Sterling K. Brown and Michael B. Jordan's performance together. I mean, even T'Challa and T'Chaka's conversation, like a lot of people I've heard throughout have said like they felt emotional moments through this movie. What's going on, Akasan? I just want to make sure you know. Thanks for coming up, man. I know this. I don't know what time it is, and what time is it where you at, man? Hello? I don't know if you can hear me.
Me too.
Dang, D, you were doing the same thing.
No, man, no. I did the stupid thing and not go in my settings. I had to go out twice I did some dumb stuff. That's all you need to know.
But nah, shout out to Akasan, man. Thanks for coming through, bro. Hopefully you get to say your piece about it and let us know what you kind of thought about the movie.
But yeah, Sam, I think that conversation between, I think, you know, everybody said the conversation with T'Chaka and T'Challa, everybody loved that. I thought that was a really good one. That really gave a good, that was a good character building scene, and I love that.
Especially the second one.
I think with for me, the one I connected to was just because of the way I was raised. I connected to when Killmonger saw his dad.
Yeah,
that's the one I only connect. I'm only got connected because, like I said, my dad was my pops. He was into the Black Panthers when he was like in his 20s, and I was the type of kid when I was 11. I read Malcolm X, the autobiography of Malcolm X. So I was that type of kid. So I'm always proud of who I am. I'm always proud of everything. So when I see the fact, wait a minute, you killed this dude because he was about to help the ghetto out? Man, fuck you. I would have been the same. I would have been just like Killmonger, man. Yeah, Chris, Chris, you know where I live at, man. I lived back that neighborhood right there back in the 80s, man. Oh man, that was crack central, man. That was a crack block, you know. So compared to where it is now, yeah, it's better. But when I was a kid, nah, man, the first thing I wanted to do was like, yo, let's kill all the bad guys out. Stop the cop, you know what I'm saying? Get it popping, man. Like, come on, man. Like, it's better than this. How the hell we live across the street from the Census Bureau and it's straight up the Carter, you know, around the corner? That makes no sense, man. So yeah, I always had that feeling. So both of those scenes were actually very powerful in it. And if nobody had no type of connection to it, I'm sorry. You know, I just got to be real. I'm sorry, man. Sorry nobody hugged you as a kid, man.
I mean, one thing I didn't think about is that there was I think at least every actor minus Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman like cried in some way, shape, or form. Every single one. I'm trying to think of somebody that didn't cry at one point in the movie.
Sterling K. Brown has it in his contract. He has to shed a tear.
Man, Sterling K. Brown didn't even look, man. He just showed up. No, actually, when he showed up, Chris leaned to me because he's an asshole. That nigga gonna cry by the end of this day.
It's guaranteed. It's like he's guaranteed to cry. If he don't cry, I'm like, hey, Sterling, you let me down, dog. Like, no crying. What's up?
It's just, I mean, I bring that up because normally in a superhero film, you might get like one person cry or something happen that's impactful, but it's so many different moments in this one that they unapologetically like, I'm going to show my emotion in this moment. Like, I think Denai had the most visceral reaction when she was watching like T'Challa getting beat down and you just see the tears welling up in her face, but she was keeping her composure as a soldier. I was like, yo, that's real. Like, it was really interesting that they didn't hold back in any capacity throughout everything that Ryan did for this film. So I got to give all the credit to Ryan Coogler, bro.
You had to. They had to. I think in this type of movie, and I think in this type of movie, you had to have that type of emotion running, man. Especially when it came to I think it was this in a way is an origin story, so you have to have a lot of emotion go into it. You know what I mean? You can't just have it be like, oh, this bad thing happened. He overcame it. No, it got to have a little bit more of a struggle to it. And even though, like the only thing I did, like the only knock I really had was the third act. That's the only knock. And even then, it wasn't a big knock. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, this movie sucks. It was just more of, nah. Everything else is so great to me. It wasn't like, no. The second the fight started, the second Killmonger came out there with his Black Panther suit, I was like, all right, here we go.
Nobody's talking about fucking Killmonger and that chinchilla fucking jacket he had on. I'm like, dog, really?
Man, that junk wasn't cold enough for me, man. I thought that was
like 90 degrees in fucking Central Africa, and you wearing a big ass jacket, shirtless.
Nah, man. Look, man.
Everybody rocking the Bane look, man.
Yeah. I brought up something, D, that I guess I was curious what you thought about it. At the very end, imagine when they were in the Underground Railroad. When their powers.
Oh, I hate it for you to bring it up on our show, man. I didn't even realize.
I had to. I already had to. But when she brought up the reinforcement and the suits were no longer active. Imagine if that fight was without the suit altogether for both. Like, what if they actually legit were just fighting, just them?
T'Challa would have caught that L. Sorry.
I think T'Challa would have lost, man. I think T'Challa.
I mean, do you think it would have added service to the third act though? That's the reason I'm bringing it up. Like no CG suits, but like just a real fight.
It's kind of funny. I have this weird thing where I can say it probably didn't deserve to have that type of in there. But you know what? I don't think it would have added to it. I don't think it would have made it better. Really, I just the whole last act. Because I hate it when I predict shit correct in my brain when it comes to scenes like that. Yeah. I was like, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. All this lost moment, and the niggas from the mountain come. There they are.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. I actually have to go. I gotta fall asleep to the wire right now. So
fall asleep to the wire.
I'm
wow.
I have in my brain. I have back in my brain when I fall asleep, like to dream of that. Anyway,
what?
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on. Peace.
Been a while, man.
All right, Anthony, take care, bro.
Take it easy, man.
I don't think that would have added to it. Like, for real, I really don't think that would have added to the end of it. I thought it was fine for what it is. It's fine for what it is. It's just when I start predicting stuff like that, I hate it when I'm right. Like, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. Somehow he's gonna get caught slipping. Say your last thing. I'm a proud black dude, and he does. He's dead. Okay, cool. Now I will say this. Killmonger did say a beast line. Man, throw me in the water. Oh my nigga, you dying? Shut up, dude. Man, you gotta be over dramatic as you go.
I mean, real talk though.
I mean, if you're gonna go,
I mean, put me in the water.
I would tell you what would have surprised. If Okoye after fucking Wakabi was like, oh, you wouldn't kill me, my love, would you? And then all of a sudden Okoye just stabs his ass in the fucking leg. It's like, well, I didn't see that shit happen. All right.
Well, that's where all the politics come in, where they probably would have just killed him off the break. I'm like, I told you, man. I told you Wakanda is that type of country, man. You don't want to live there. You
gonna ask your girlfriend, would she kill you for betraying? And she's like, yeah, she's loyal to the throne, dog.
She's loyal to the throne, man. It's like, yo, for real, man.
All of them could have gotten pretty petty because T'Challa could have taken Killmonger up there at the very end and been like, look at everything the light touches. You did. Like, he could have rubbed that in. He could have rubbed that in, like, because I'm petty. And my family's petty too. Like, he could have.
Dick move would have been
all in that wound.
See, Dick move would have been, you know what? I'm gonna heal you against your will, and you're gonna like it.
He probably did though.
I mean, he might have. That's the thing. We don't know.
Man, no, he did. No, no. Killmonger ain't coming back, man. Only way he come back is like, I don't know, the scroll come to Earth and like revive him some way. I don't even know, man.
Hey.
There's no point in bringing him back.
So apparently, the final tally for the 3-day weekend, $202 million.
Yeah, that seemed about right.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I'm just shocked of at this point, it ain't so much that because here's the thing I always hated about the at least for me, I always hated how we always like say how much it's gonna make, because to me that's a false number of how good the movie is. Thanks to Transformers. To me, that's always a false like, oh, it made $1 billion. It's Transformers. That thing's garbage. So I always hated how we use it as the measurement of greatness. You know what I mean? Yeah. I always do, and that's one of the most things I hate about the when it came to the DC films. Even if it was good, y'all would still say it's shit because it didn't make like I don't know, whatever the number is. Yeah. Whatever the number they had to beat. If it didn't beat that number, therefore cancel out as bad. That's stupid to me. That's really stupid to me, because you know what? Batman vs Superman made nearly $1 billion. It didn't deserve it. So you know what I'm saying? This is coming from a dude that kind of liked it. It didn't deserve that much money. So it's I always hated that sign. This one is more so a gauge of where the country's at least, because I knew it was going to make its money because it has a stamp of Marvel on the side. It's going to sell. It has a stamp of Disney backing up the money, so it's going to look good. So at that point, it falls on the people and how much buzz it can make. I'm shocked of how much buzz it's making, because I had people who don't give a crap about superhero movies saying, "Hey, D, ain't you a movie critic?" I'm like, yeah, I am. Hey, ain't you gonna see Black Panther? Yeah, duh, I am gonna see that. But you know, they still wanted to know what's going into it, what's going on. It was like a real big push. I mean, a real big just this. Everybody's interest was piqued in this movie. So at this point, I just want to see where it falls at. It ain't so much where I want it to be. I just want to know if it hit $1 billion. Holy shit! Wow, I didn't see that coming.
I mean, the greatest thing about it is like that weekend was seeing like you roll into a theater or you just walk in the streets and you kind of could pick out who's going to see Black Panther. Like, yeah. Like, and it's not even people that was like, oh, I'm dressed up in dashiki, just regular people. And you're like, you want to see Black Panther? Oh, yeah, we're about to go to the theater now. And you kind of just pick out people just off the break. Like, oh, yeah, you about to see Black Panther. All right, cool, dope.
You know? Yeah.
So, well, you guys, I guess we'll close out. What was your final, I guess, number tally from 1 out of 10? Or if you want to do like a to F, if it's easier for you.
Thanks to this movie, we had to, at least 3 black gays. Me and Chris, we had to cancel out that.
So it's 9 out of 10, basically.
Yeah, it's we had to go to the number 10, 1 out of 10 at this point, man. No and a halves, okay. None of that mess. Yeah, we're done with that.
9 out of 10 for me, so you know.
It's still an 8. It's still an 8 with me. It's still an 8 with me, and it's not. And don't take that as like, oh man, it should have been more than that. No, it's an 8 for me. It's a really solid 8, meaning I can watch it again and again. Yeah. I really can. Yeah. It's not one of my favorite Marvel movies, but damn it, it's good. It's really good.
And then Keaton and Akasan.
I give it a 9. I definitely give it a 9, and I think the reason I'm giving it a 9 is because I don't think I've ever given a 10. Like I just I don't know. Like I still found things that I wasn't too crazy. I wasn't too crazy about. Like I said, the killer attack rhinos out of nowhere.
Oh, dude,
that really
that was the other thing that pissed me off. That pissed me off. Like really, D. But you seen the rhinos earlier. Shut up, Chris.
Like I thought it was a really great movie, and yeah, I agree with you. It's one of those that I think I could just have playing in the background like nonstop. I want to go see it again. Dude, tickets are selling out like crazy here in Greenville, man. Like it's been nuts, like just trying to go again. But like, yeah, I definitely would like to watch it again.
Yeah. I think honestly, when I first got out, like I kind of pinpointed where my number was going to lie. And I mean, if I wasn't adding like a dot something, it'd be a 9. But I left mine at like a 9.3 because everything that I have a fault with it is nitpicky. And it's more so like I'm judging this as a critic. I'm looking at it like as African American critic. Like I'm not just gonna like this movie just because I'm black. I'm looking at this movie critically. How did it form? How was it? And they put their best foot forward, man. It was emotionally, culturally impactful and important film. But as a superhero film, it was very entertaining. It was very guided. It's had some interesting things that they could have broke outside the shell as a film, as far as the cinematic standpoint. But at the end of the day, I gave it a 9.3 out of 10. If I gave it like just a straight number, it'd be a 9. But I loved it, man. I've seen the movie 4 times, and each time I watch it, I get something out of it. I enjoy it even more. But yeah, and Akasan, I don't know if he can actually talk, but he said that he gives it a 10 out of 10. And let's see, he don't know how to broadcast on YouTube, and it's annoying him. So he can't really say anything right now. I'm not really sure why. But he's trying to broadcast this, I think, on the other side of the channel. So shout out to you, bro. And definitely all these people that are here, you guys, definitely go down the description below. Check out their channels, check out their podcast. All these guys are amazing, and this is a really dope discussion. If you guys want us to have another discussion another time, we can try to do that, bring some more people in. Just make sure you leave a like and comment in the comment section below. But anybody got anything else before we get out of here?
Nope. I'm good.
Not really.
Whenever
really.
y'all want to talk about other stuff, hit me up. I'm here.
I'm actually shocked there wasn't more people on this one, and I really mean that. That's not even, despite what my score may look like compared to y'all's, I really did enjoy this movie, and I'm actually more shocked there ain't more people in this little conversation right now. Granted, it's a Thursday, but still, I'm shocked there ain't more people on this, like talking about this movie though, man, for real.
Well, see, we spread it out. Like I know, Chris did his a few days ago, and then I know that Mo did his yesterday or day before yesterday. So I think a lot of people have already talked about it.
It's like a frenzy of I think every black person that we follow on Twitter and stuff has done a podcast. Even people that I know for a fact has not ever done a podcast. They did a podcast strictly for this movie. And I was like, wow, okay. So it's definitely the most talked about trending thing and stuff. And yeah.
So how many discussions on this have y'all done already?
Not counting.
Just this. I mean, we did our individual one, like Sam said, and then this one. That's it. I mean, I haven't jumped on it.
I was about to say, man, y'all ain't invite me to shit. Okay, that's cool. All right,
mine is just it's just listening and seeing.
All right, we cool.
Just seeing the plethora of just so many people discussing Black Panther and getting deep with it and stuff like that. It's like, okay, wow, Jesus. So
because I'm actually shocked that neither Mo or Lucas told us. They don't tell us nothing.
Radio fucking silent. I was like, where's Lucas? Is he alive? What's going on?
I don't even know what he thought about the movie, man, to be honest with you. I'm actually scared to know. I really am.
We all are scared to know what Lucas felt. And it's weird because I don't know how Mo felt about it. Like, was anybody a part of their discussion?
And look, no, not at all. No. I know where Mo's coming from. I know where his hang up is, but I don't think it had any effect on what he rated the movie, though.
That's the weird thing. It's kind of hard to get a gauge and stuff because it's one of those things where I kind of told Mo that I know it's not my place and stuff. It was like, to me, I know we didn't go into the accents and stuff. It was just weird to me because I'm trying to understand where's the bar in terms of how Africans and people of that country feel about accents in these movies and stuff. Because I'm like, well, where's the bar at? Because if Will Smith did a shitty ass fucking accent Concussion, where does Black Panther stand? Because I mean, I don't think you can necessarily do the perfect one unless you really just stay at it for a whole fucking year. And I don't know. That's why I was always trying to understand that whole thing and stuff like that, So I just don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. You don't want to sit there and what you consider to be a nitpick to be something that is really detrimental for somebody else and their perception. But I don't know. I really don't know what Lucas or Mo felt about it. I was really curious. I invited them both on. Again, if you guys want us to do another discussion, definitely. And Akasan, if you actually do a discussion, definitely let us know. We'd be more than willing to join you to have a Google Hangouts to talk about it as well.
I hear you.
What the?
Holy shit! Did God show up? What was that?
Your wish has been granted. We are now streaming on OBS. I just figured it out.
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up? What is up with my people? Sorry, I was on that CPP time, so I'm coming all late. Everybody's already finished.
What time is it over there?
It's 12:45 in the afternoon.
That's crazy, bro.
Like I said, I was on that CPT time, so it was like, you know. Actually, that's color people time, but yeah, CPT, you know.
12:45 the next day. That's crazy.
I was busy last night. Yeah, so I was doing.
Where you at? Korea? Are you in Korea or are you in Japan?
And I got triggered when I heard the China comment, but I live in so I was like, let me get online real quick and talk about that. No, I'm over here in Japan.
Oh, okay, cool. Actually, the third one of our crew is in Japan too. So yeah.
Ah, okay, cool, nice.
Yo,
yeah, so
gonna kick
I
it,
know
right?
you guys went through everything already, so my apologies for being late on that one. But now we're streaming on my channel, so I guess that's something. Nope, never mind. The echo is really bad. It's still broken on my channel. Sorry, guys. All right. Well, go to JVS's channel and you can see the actual stream, and I'll just repost mine later. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
So, yeah. Oh man, we'll talk about trying to figure out and iron out that whole OBS because I need to actually figure that out and perfect it myself. But
yeah,
what were your real closing thoughts of Black Panther ultimately?
Me, myself?
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I thought it was for, you know, we have to remember this is the 18th Marvel movie that has come out in 10 years now. So that's 18 Marvel movies. There's a lot, and you know, everybody's always talking about the superhero burnout and you know, all this other stuff that's going on, like, oh, it's one too many superhero movies, blah blah blah. Nah, it's like my boy told me. He was like, there ain't no superhero burnout, just people are burnt out of shitty movies. That's what it is, and mediocre movies. So you know, you'll have a movie like Justice League come out and it's not on par. Yeah, people will start saying, okay, there's one too many superhero movies. Nah, it's just the people are tired of mediocre movies and are started expecting that. So for me, Black Panther Super Saiyan seeded all of that, in the sense that it lived up to its hype, but not even that. It created its own hype that, you know, it wasn't manufactured by the people, by the company or whatever. It created its own hype and it lived up to that expectation on top of that. So there are times when there's something that people want to believe in so much, but it doesn't come through. But I think Black Panther completely superseded that, and I'm glad that it can do that again, the 18th Marvel movie in 10 years. So it's pretty damn good that it could live up to the hype and actually feel like something different after so long. That's what I liked about it the most.
Yeah. Do you think it could potentially, you know, hit $1 billion, or do you think it will?
Yeah, totally. I totally think it will. Actually, that's ask me again after the second weekend drop off, and we'll take it from there. But you know,
Yeah.
if we're looking at like a 30% drop, then it's totally going to hit $1 billion. If we're going at 75, which I highly doubt it's going to have a 75% drop or even a 65% drop, then nah. But if we're talking about like a very small drop, then yeah, totally $1 billion is coming, and that would be so goddamn awesome. That would be so awesome for something like that to happen. It definitely has the potential to do that.
Yeah, I think the only real competition it's got is Annihilation and then Game Night this weekend.
And that's
it.
You tore that competition. You know, it was strategy.
You're right. It's going to hit $1 billion. It's gonna hit
strategy. Because I was telling that to Chris, I was like, "Yo, when they dropped this, they dropped it in the middle of the dead zone, which is January to March.
February,
dead zone.
Yeah.
they're not coming out. These are movies that they know they aren't going to sell high, or either they know it's going to fucking fail, so they just drop them in this dead zone during the movie season in the winter.
Competition Black Panther got this weekend is game night, and I think there probably will be some people that'll watch it, but maybe not in the huge droves to take away all the attention and stuff. Game night is going to make its money because it's a low budget comedy and stuff. So yeah, that's
Black Panther might not actually honestly, they might keep that in theaters until Ready Player One and Pacific Rim 2 drops. Like, seriously, I don't see anything else coming out that can even close to competing with it.
That movie's going to be garbage. I know a lot of people are going to see it, but I just got to feel
Player One.
I got to feel it's going to be garbage. I know a lot of people will see it though.
Ready Player One, Pacific Rim 2, or both.
Look. Look, Pacific Rim might be garbage, but I'm gonna love that movie. I already know I am. So
the anime side of me cannot slander Pacific Rim 1 and 2.
Yeah,
so
I can't. I really can't. I ain't gonna lie. But
Ready Player One, I'm just looking at like, hope you guys make enough money because it looked like y'all really paid a lot for all them fucking licenses and stuff. Y'all played fucking Toei.
I read that book when it first came out, so I've been waiting for that. I've been hyped for that one for a while. Whether or not it'll be good, I'm waiting to be seen. But at the same time, I'm like, Spielberg, all right, I'll give it a go. So
I saw Gundam, and I'm like, how much money did you pay to fucking Toei for that shit? Because
Oh, believe me, that was when I heard they were making a movie, that was the biggest one on the list. I was like, are they gonna get the Gundam in there? Is RX-781 gonna be in it? And sure enough, it's on the poster. And so after that, I was like, okay, I'm good.
Hey man, that's a lot of money. It's I don't know. I know people are gonna watch it. Oh, I know for a fact people are going to go out and watch that movie, man.
Oh, yeah.
But that does sound like they will keep it in the theaters that long until those two movies come out.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing to compete with.
There will be no competition. There will be no challenge today.
Oh man!
Challenge the Black Panther. It's like Annihilation raises his hand. It's like, okay, all right.
The only reason why
Kevin Feige come out the back like, it's kind of difficult all this winning. So can we just wrap this up real quick and start Infinity War? Yeah.
I think the only reason why I want this thing to hit $1 billion is because I'm still pissed off that that garbage movie on Hunger Games has gotten so much money. I think I'm so mad at that. I was like, I need something to just crush it. I need something to crush that whole series, man. Because I hated how everybody jumped on that movie. Like, oh, it's the greatest thing in the world. Yeah. I'm like, this is Battle Royale. Y'all just whitewashed it. Why?
I mean, everything eventually gets rehashed. I mean, it happens.
How much
did Black Panther take from Lion King? Let's be honest.
Yes.
Look, man. Look. You is not gonna. Well, see, they ain't taking away from because that's all Disney. It's like, nah.
I know. I'm like, no. I was sitting there watching Black Panther. I'm like, wait, is this the live action Lion King they were talking about? Like, I'm
look. When they were showing the sand in the beginning, I leaned over to Chris. I was like,
hey, look, dog.
I'm not gonna lie, I was doing the same thing.
Hey, Killmonger killing Suri. I was like, that would be like if Scar killed Rafiki. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, man. Like the whole time I was watching, I was like, wait, relatives show up, take the throne from him, think he's dead. He comes back to take the throne back again, looks out over the kingdom at the end, roll credits. I'm like, I've seen this movie before.
Can you imagine if T'Challa just started breaking out singing and fucking Nakia comes out of nowhere and they have a duet? I
just can't wait. The hell out of a Black Panther music. That's the next Hamilton waiting to happen.
Here's my thing. When that happened, I was like, I told it to Chris, like, so you mean to tell me this is an analogy of Lion King. Ain't one hotep try to align that and try to make nobody watch the movie. How did they not? Because for real, here's the sick part. If you can make that twist of like, see, white people just rehash the same old movie, and you can make an argument out of that, and people will legit listen. They're stupid. They're stupid. They didn't even think of that, man. I'm like, yo, man, you want people not to come to the movie theaters? They picking all the wrong topics. That was the one to go for. That was the low hanging fruit. It's Lion King.
But the thing is, I love Lion King. If I hadn't seen Black Panther and I had never heard of Black Panther, and somebody told me, yo, Marvel got a superhero movie that's a Lion King ripoff. Yes. Yes. Please. Is there a monkey in there that does kung fu? Like, I'll sign up for that double. Like, please. Like,
that was for the Whitaker right there.
Speaking of which, I stand by that. Forrest Whitaker phoned that in. He didn't do. Look, man, he was like, oh man, because me and Chris is like, yo, man, Forrest Whitaker's gonna make Nick Winkers cry. He was barely in the movie, and on top of that, real talk, because at that point we was team Killmonger. Oh, that's the trade motherfucker. Y'all kill him.
Wow.
Yo,
hey, by the way, did they CG his son's eye also to make it droopy like that?
No, he got his eye fixed. He had some kind of surgery, I think, to get his eye for Forrest Whitaker. He got to get his eye fixed.
Wow. Huh.
Really?
Yeah.
No. What I'm asking is his son. His son.
That was easy. That was easy. All they did was have somebody walking behind him and slap him upside the head, and that's how.
I mean, look, when they sat there and was like Surrey, and then all of a sudden he's growing up in the Surrey forest, it's like, wow, that is seamless as I don't know what. No, Chris like, see, that's his son. That's his son. I'm like, yeah, that's his son. They ain't do nothing. Look what they did to his eye. That's CG.
right. I was like, wait, was that genetic or did they fix? Like, yeah.
Lazy eye don't fall. Lazy eye.
They try to do that. They try to do that to him in the Great Invaders, and I'm like, you can't be doing that twice, man. Come on.
Y'all wrong, man. Y'all wrong as hell, man.
I mean, we could get at T'Chaka in that lazy eye too, but you know,
man. Somebody said he look like somebody said his eye. He looked like Toxie from the Toxic Avengers. I'm like, y'all wrong. Y'all wrong.
Well, how about a boy from Rick and Morty? God damn.
Getting savage.
I'm like, when I saw that, I was like, man, see, black folk, this is why we can't go nowhere. This is why we can't excel in life. Because y'all gotta make a joke about everything.
Mercy.
Man. Hey, he been wearing glasses in every fucking movie, so it's like the first time he doesn't have glasses and it's noticeable. Every other time it's like, didn't notice it.
Yeah, I saw it on base because it hasn't come out here in Japan yet. It's coming out next week in Japan, which is actually somewhat early for us. We usually get it like 3 months later, but I saw it on base, and I was with a lot of black folk, and there were people talking about the movie. Through the movie, I'm like, really? But luckily that movie was so good, I didn't actually mind people hazing it in the back. But I remember when M'Baku what was this Manapes his political correct name in the film, M'Baku, right?
M'Baku.
Yeah. And so, like, when they first introduced him sitting down and everything, they were like, some dude in the back was like, oh man, he was like, my look looks tight right there, and the girl in the back was like, I know, but it looks uncomfortable. Like that throne he was on, and we just started laughing.
Nah, the only thing I had a problem with that was like, because it's like little any nitpicky thing I saw that they did direction wise, because I knew it would get on Chris's nerves. I like, that's your boy Coogler. So like when he was just sitting there, I was like, so was that nigga just sitting there the entire time? Yeah. That's your boy Coogler, man. That's your boy Coogler. My better question, like, who installed those lights that was in that drone? Like, they
And
mountains, but they got
why was
electricity
everything
flowing up there.
decorated in bones? Why was everything decorated in bones if they were vegetarians? I was like, wait a second.
See,
Man,
Really
I'm not gonna lie. I laughed real hard when they cut to him sitting on that chair with the "Is you finished or is you done?" Like,
Are you done? Are you?
Man, I was like, I was
Man.
rolling. And when he started trolling them, like, oh, by the way, oh man,
He's like, we're vegetarian. Like, nigga, you too big to be a vegetarian. He said, I quit that line, man.
he was big dude.
I know he looked like
man.
he get his chicken in every once in a while, so you know.
Yeah, he probably ate like a porterhouse after they yelled cut. Like,
man, you a vegetarian, bruh. There's too much. Look, what? Like, when did Wakanda start making protein whey?
Look, man, the ladies in the theater, man. Look, as fucked up optically as the scene was, there was some women in our screening that got a little. They were feeling some sort of way, like when Killmonger choked the old lady and stuff, and you had some of the women like, just like. Yeah, like got some kinksters in the fucking audience that was really getting their life a little bit on that. I was like,
are you serious?
I could see that though. No, I could see that. Yeah.
I mean,
I felt uncomfortable when he was doing that too.
I mean that shit, and it's like, oh shit, like okay, that's the authority that
I was gonna say fuck you, but you can say that again. And I'll be like, okay, daddy. And like, that's exactly what it was, nigga. Like, man.
Falls in the theater, not just on screen.
It's like,
I forgot what scene it was. I forgot what scene it was, Chris. It was like, it was in the middle of the, I forgot what, God. Oh, when God, I forgot, I keep on forgetting her name, Michonne. When she took off her wig, everybody
and she threw it at the dude.
Everybody in the movie theater started clapping and cheering and all that, right? I lean with Chris, can't take y'all black people nowhere. Don't cheer.
But no, I can see that. I can see why some people would cheer.
Hey, listen, man. Look,
there's some background history to that. With black women don't really feel like they need to. The whole idea was the fact that wearing a wig is like trying to, a straight wig at that. Is trying to like.
Actually, that's right. That was the key word. A straight wig.
Yeah, right. A straight wig, straight haired wig, and trying to fit in and everything. So I understand why people applauded that. For other people, I laughed at that because she was having problems with the whole wig, the entire sequence, and so she couldn't wait to get rid of it. But now that you mention it like that, I could see why other people would applaud that scene. So.
I mean, look, we all have our thirst traps and stuff. So I was like, you know what, man? That was this is the thing with the women though, man. Especially when you look at it on Twitter, it was like, I fucking hate Killmonger, but when he took off that shirt, I was like, yeah, of course. That's what he gets you at right
I'm like,
there.
y'all ain't shit. That's all I told her. Like, y'all ain't shit. All of y'all ain't shit.
Did you guys catch that? Like, speaking of that, a few minutes before that one, that scene and such, where they're just trying to get in, and that Korean woman was looking them up and down, and I'm like, yeah, I know what they're referencing here with the whole Korean store owners and such. Like, that, you know what I'm talking about?
Don't cause any trouble.
Right. I'm like, God damn.
You said what I love.
Yeah. I was like, damn. But you know what? Homegirl's Korean, I was really impressed. Her Korean was really good. Like, even like, you can tell when somebody is kind of like dialing it in or whatever, like trying to fake that accent or fake the language or whatever. Her Korean was really good. I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Better be. Yeah. It better be. It's a Disney movie, man. They ain't got no excuse to be phoning nothing in, man.
They're about to phone in that Aladdin movie. I can tell you that much. But
oh, that is still a thing.
The Guy Ritchie Aladdin movie.
Thank you.
Flashbacks to like the genie talking about his day. Like, oh man, so back 2 days ago, this way.
Hey, you gonna have to put look. I sat through a whole movie with you slow stroking it, to Ryan Coogler. You gonna sit in Aladdin with me and enjoy my favorite director, Guy Ritchie. All right, motherfucker.
Hey,
I'm not doing this with you,
I
Chris.
want my 2 hours back from fucking King Arthur, because
ain't nobody told you. Look, ain't nobody told you to go in there and think it's gonna be high fantasy. It said made by Guy Ritchie. You knew that people were gonna die, and you knew it was gonna be fast pacing. What made you think you were gonna go in there and see Lord of the Rings, my nigga?
First off, I didn't expect King Arthur to all of a sudden give me fucking Guy Ritchie style flashbacks, like, so me and the guys, right? Flashback.
Shoot, like, that made it fun. That made it fun, man. Of course, you know
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it yet.
Dude, put it this way: just unplug. Don't you dare go in there thinking that it's gonna be what it is or no. Think of Cockney to English. That's what it is, man. That's really what it is.
I went in high fantasy and I left out thinking basically like, that was King Arthur and Knights of Justice, Guy Ritchie style. All right.
Again, why you thinking Knights of Justice, dude? I don't know why you thinking of these.
Knights of Justice was just as goofy as Guy Ritchie's King Arthur. I was fine with it.
Sure.
I don't know if you guys discussed it already. What was your favorite line or scene from Black Panther? Throwing a wig off.
Oh my gosh. I think we did talk about our favorite moment. Mine was Sterling K. Brown and Michael B. Jordan in the dream sequence, or not the dream sequence.
Oh, that was nice. Yeah, that was real nice.
I thought that was the most emotional, touching part.
No tears for your long departed father. Yeah.
I mean, I just like the boldness of Killmonger off the break. Like, yo, I want the throne. He just
so gangster. Oh my god.
Okay, that was gangster.
He even had a swagger when he was walking up. Yeah.
That's what I forgot. I forgot to mention in an R review, Chris. Chris when Killmonger and his dad had that little moment. I forgot what his dad said. And Chris, because he don't let shit go of old stuff. He saw Sterling K. Brown and just went straight to the OJ story and just said Killmonger will look at him like, nigga, please.
Basically, it's like, yep.
Actually, my favorite line was when because I got up and I was really about to go full on Nation of Islam brother with the bean pies in my hand and saying preach brother preach when Killmonger said there are 2 billion people walking the earth looking just like you.
Yeah.
Like, and what has Wakanda done for them? That right there, I was like, preach, my brother, preach. I was really about to get up and all that. In fact, look, even with all that done, I still laugh at all that they had done. You know, everything's all good, and T'Challa and Nakia have that little moment where they kiss each other. I lean over to Chris. I was like, so when are we going to give the cure to AIDS to all over Africa? Whoa. One thing at a time, baby. Hold on. Can't be giving it all away at once now. Come on.
Go 0 to 100 and you're going to have to chill here, all right? Come on.
No. We ain't going to get to all of Africa. We got to see who our friends first before we do that shit.
Have a fucking beast of no nation situation. It's like, we can't do that. No.
Look, at the end of the day, just be South Africa like this. Wakanda ain't shit. I told you I ain't what.
Nelson Mandela didn't die for this.
What do you think? What do you think Wakanda's going to be sharing with the rest of the world now?
I mean, if there's anything like Age of Ultron when they went to Lagos and stuff, probably just medical shit. I don't know about like weapons.
Well, honestly, one of the things I want to know is how, because they were talking about like, oh, Wakanda's a third world country, and oh, no one ever goes to, and I'm like, wait, so how many missionaries have randomly gone missing in Wakanda that this has just remained a secret for so long? Like the first thing Wakanda's gonna probably share with the world is, by the way, this is where Feed the Children is at. We didn't really need them, but we just kept them here because we couldn't just send them back covered in vibranium and stuff. Sorry. Like, that's the thing. Like, that was pretty unbelievable to me. Like, oh, we're a third world country, but we're pretending. I'm like, really? National Geographic ain't even gone there? Like, really?
Third world country, T'Chaka rolling up there in the fucking UN with a fucking 3-piece suit and shit.
I'm like,
No,
really?
it's a bunch of paid actors. That's all. It's a bunch of paid children actors. They were
like real talk. Like the number one thing white churches love to do is send missionaries to Africa.
Right.
And you're telling me.
No, you had a bunch of highly professional Wakandan children pretending to be poor.
On the outskirts.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's the day to be poor, Daddy. Yes, it is. Go make them. Yeah. These white people. Like, you know, like I'm telling you, you need to push out your stomach like this.
Oh my gosh. I mean, they would have to be distributing medical supplies, technological innovation for medical and resources purposes. I couldn't see them going straight into weaponry, but it's going to be interesting to see how that involves with Infinity War, because
right.
I mean, they could very much so help, you know, the United Nations and like, okay, well, this is how we're going to reinforce this, but this is how much we're going to help. But
Brody's gonna get cured. Brody's gonna get cured though, so I'm down for that.
Yo, so
no, he's not. He's gonna die.
So okay, hold on. So this is the thing, right? Somebody brought this up in a meme. I think they were like, okay, Martin Freeman gets shot in the spine. You know, they take him back to Wakanda and protect him. Rhodey gets his back all jacked up. You know, and he's paralyzed. And T'Challa sure didn't take him back to Wakanda. So, I mean, does anybody have an explanation for that? I mean, you could say he was on a mission to try to kill the person that killed his dad, but he never went back and got him. So I don't know if that's more of a Tony problem.
Didn't need to, though.
To be fair, War Machine didn't get hit trying to save T'Challa. He ain't done nothing for T'Challa.
Right.
Martin Freeman took a bullet for him, and so he saved him. That's what I think it is.
I
agree.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I just need that and Shuri basically looking at Stark's armor like, we got fucking suits and necklaces. What is that?
This is garbage. Like, yeah.
Well, there is rumor that he is going to adapt some of that technology, and like, because we see a very similar armor creep up on Stark in the trailer, kind of like, and people are calling it bleeding edge or whatever. But there is theory that he is adapting some of that into his outfit. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the word is colonizing? You're wrong. Boy, I will not get over the fact when she said his colonizer. I was like, thank you. Oh, that word is great.
You scared me, colonizer.
I was like, yo, now I have a new word to call white people. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Like cracker and honky and colonizer.
Mercy.
Did y'all see the tweet from R. Kelly talking about how he's moving to Wakanda, and everybody started posting images of the all the black women in Wakanda, like like they were like, we don't take rapists and child molesters. They're like, damn, dude, he got.
Hey, look, man, they might have went ham on R. Kelly, but I saw them go ham on Chris Brown.
Chris Brown, I saw that too. Yeah,
I was like, yo,
roll, man. These are brothers that want to be better. They want to do better. Here's the thing, though. R. Kelly really can't come in.
But see, here's the kicker.
Look, Chris Brown's going to have to go through a vetting process. All right, Chaos is not coming in at all.
But here's the kicker. Somebody's like, yo, Chris Brown should have superimposed his head on Killmonger. I'm like, I mean, after you took that lady, it is kind of fitting a little bit. Just saying.
Yo, man, I still won't get over that, man. I still won't get over that. Ooh, what are you doing? He's a villain. He's a villain.
And again,
I'm like, yo, I say if Lex Luthor doesn't blow up a building, he sucks as a villain. So in this case, if Killmonger doesn't kill people, look, the fact that he didn't kill a baby, I'm kind of upset. So
God damn.
So, I'm just saying, if you're a villain and you're known for killing, I don't care if you're a fat weakly midget, you're going to die. You're going to get killed. It's in his name. So how then?
I mean, one of those dots probably represented it.
I'm like, yo,
he had a lot of dots.
Yeah, he did. It's just like, yo, something's going to happen. I'm sorry. He kills indiscriminately. That's what killers do.
I mean, it could have been worse. He could have gotten on his Game of Thrones shit and like had all the Wakanda women line up in his room and everything. So,
oh man, look, you can look. It didn't kill me. People's like, oh, Like, oh man, that was sexist. I'm like, yo, y'all still watch Game of Thrones, and I saw King Joffrey have two girls beat each other while he got off to it. Shut up.
And he put an arrow through him at the end. Yep.
Meanwhile, Killmonger just tells the old lady who bucked at him, like, hey, you better fucking listen to me. And somehow crossing lines, people. Crossing lines.
Man, look. The only way I will hop onto that train is this. If Killmonger backhand the girl, she's like, why did you do that? Now twerk something, bitch. And if he said that, I can back you up. I can back you up. I can back you up, be on the picket line with you. No, he didn't. He's a villain. What? I'm surprised he didn't shoot more people. That's not how I feel about that, man. That's stupid.
Hey, he slid a Dora Milaje throat, so off the break, he's like, oh, that's villainy right there. You killed one.
Actually, you know what? I'm actually shocked that he didn't do that first. All the girls line up. Now good. Now I can replace my generals. I'm shocked he didn't do that crap, man.
Hey, he slipped the light skinned Dora Milaje, so you know the affirmative action Dora Milaje is gone. So
affirmative action.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry. Close this thing, man.
Yeah, we got to close it out.
Damn, I told you when we got up here. I said we're gonna be here for 3 hours. I
didn't attempt. Like it just goes to show that
I told you that was gonna happen. As soon as you said we were doing, I was like, we're gonna go for 3 hours.
This is one of those movies that's a rare agenda. We could continue to just branch and talk, and it's actually one of the most entertaining Marvel films too. Like, it is very entertaining.
Outside of Avengers, it's my top MCU film of all time,
and it's my number 3. So it did. I mean, unanimously, I think we all stay within that 3 to 5 range, no matter what. So it's done its purpose, and collectively, like, I think we can agree this is definitely one of the most entertaining films that they've kind of brought us, and we can't wait to see what's going to happen with Infinity Wars. If you guys want us to do another discussion, we'll definitely do that another time, but definitely go down to the description bar below. Check out all these guys. They've got great content, great podcasts, and we'll be back for more discussions at a later time. All right, guys? We gotta go.
Killmonger was right. Yep.
He won't roll. He won't roll.
Yo, if y'all want to do some more discussion about this movie, hit me up, all right?
All right.
Cool.
All right, you guys.
I'll holler at you guys later.
Take it easy. Take care.